Aledo, Denton Ryan, Texas high school football royalty, head-to-head with a district title hanging in the balance. The fourth-ranked Aledo Bearcats put their 109-game, 15-year district win streak on the line against Denton Ryan, next on Friday Night Football. And with that, we welcome you to Denton alongside former Kansas State and Lincoln High linebacker Heckma Harrison. I'm Mike Leslie. Heckma, these two programs are among the elite in Texas year in and year out, certainly in the recent vintage since 2000 at the very least. 13 state championships between them. Tonight they do battle on the field.
Hey, you want to see two of the best? This is best on best out here at C.H. Collins. And you know what? Everyone in the state is paying attention to this matchup because, hey, it could definitely have playoff implications for the future. But when you talk about Aledo, I mean, really there's nothing else to say. You just have to say Aledo. And Denton Ryan is definitely ascending into that program powerhouse level that Aledo already is.
Aledo with 10 state championships, Denton Ryan with 3 of their own, including just a couple years ago in 2020. Both of these programs have been fantastic for years. You mentioned this year, though, certainly implications on this football game. Aledo beat Burleson Centennial a week ago. Denton Ryan lost to Burleson Centennial 2 weeks ago with a couple of key players injured. We'll get to that in a moment. So tonight, if Ryan can get the win, they can get a share of the district championship. If Aledo wins, they would take it outright.
What? I mean, there's so much to decipher for what you just said, and people are just trying to figure out, look, what is this game going to end up like? I mean, obviously, the playoff implications are there, but for both of these teams, there's so much on the line. And so, again, that's what amplifies the importance of a matchup like this.
Aledo 6-0 within district play to now run their district win streak to an absurd 109 games. They have not lost a district game since October of 2007. It's unbelievable what they've done.
I don't really, that's one of those numbers that you really, it boggles the mind. It's really hard to try and figure out how they did that. I mean, if you think about it, it's been a couple of presidents that's been in office since the last time they actually lost a district game. And so, look, I'm sure for these guys in Denton Ryan, they're not even thinking about that. They know how important this matchup is, and they just want to come in here and get a victory.
The last time Aledo lost a district game was against Everman, again, October of 2005. The iPhone 1 came out about 3 months prior, so that's how long ago we're talking about. These two teams have only played twice ever, both times in the playoffs, 2002 and 2003. Some vintage video for you here from back-to-back regional finals within these two teams. It'll be nice, Heckman, to see a new age matchup between these two teams, some 16:9 matchups, an HD matchup between these two programs that have been so important for so long in Texas high school football.
Hey, you had me at iPhone 1, so I mean, that really just says how long ago it's been. But like I said before, man, it's just all about right now, and specifically for Denton Ryan. They come into this matchup unranked. And how many times have you come into October football and Denton Ryan not be ranked? So I think that's what really heightens the importance of this game. And for that team specifically, they know that they have to pull out a victory here.
So let's get into some of the players that are going to make an impact in this football game on who does win this football game. Our player to watch from the Aledo Bearcats, their stud junior quarterback, Hoss Haney.
I mean, Hoss Haney, what a name. I mean,
it's a great name.
It is a great name. This guy has to be successful in life with a name like that, but he is the stud quarterback for the Bearcats. He can throw it, he can air it out, but, man, I think he has that speed, that next-level speed that people kind of underestimate him, but he's that guy, if you put pressure on him, he can get out of he jump out the window, basically, and he can stretch the field with his legs.
Tim Buckhannon says he's a 10-5 guy in the 100-meter. That's moving.
That is moving.
And if he gets out the pocket, that gets really, really dangerous. Last week against Burleson Centennial, 1 incompletion, 6 combined touchdowns, 4 through the air, 2 on the ground.
Wow.
He can really spin it. He can really play some football. On the other side for Denton Ryan, 2 key notes here. They've got 2 kids healthy tonight. Callan Davis, their starting quarterback. Caleb Hicks, their starting running back. Both missed the lion's share, about 98% of that game against Burleson Centennial with injuries. They will both start tonight, so that's important. But a young man who's done a great job stepping up in their absence is Jordan Bailey, their wide receiver.
Oh, Jordan Bailey, he comes from the lineage, one thing. In his family, his brother, Armani Bailey, that played at Denton Ryan, they're fast. I'm telling you, the family reunion sack races are something to see in the Bailey family. I mean, but Jordan Bailey is definitely a speedster. He's a guy that has that next gear that I don't think that you see a lot here in high school football. But he's had to, do double duty. He's played some running back and also wide receiver, but his natural position is a wide receiver. So having the quarterback back healthy is definitely important for his success tonight.
And we'd be remiss if we didn't at least mention here before kickoff Denton Ryan's superstar middle linebacker, Anthony Hill, the best linebacker in America.
Yeah.
He's going to have a difficult task tonight trying to slow down that Aledo offense, but he is sensational.
No, and look, man, a linebacker is in my wheelhouse, and I am here to see this young man. Like you said, he is one of the best in the state, and for good reason. He is aggressive. He is downhill, side to side. Everything that you like to say about a linebacker, he's really special.
It's one of the biggest games across the state this weekend. Denton Ryan and Aledo kickoff right after this on Friday Night Football. To the end zone for South Oak Cliff. Our brand new color commentator, Heckma Harrison. Heckma, welcome to the team.
Man, I'm excited.
Touchdown, Randy Reed. Next week, a rivalry matchup of 6A powers as DeSoto hosts Duncanville. Friday at 7 on the WFAA YouTube channel and WFAA Plus.
In a world filled with motion, we are the constant. Filled with storms, we are the calm. Filled with uncertainty, we are reassurance. We bring the truth. We bring hope, conviction, a legacy of grit, determination, honesty, and relevant reporting that doesn't just inform, but inspires. We are WFAA.
Hey, I'm Jason. And I'm the other Jason. We're the co-hosts of Y'all-itics, the unofficial political podcast of Texas. So each week we invite on change makers for cold beer and candid conversations into the issues really affecting Texans. Yeah, and we're bringing in diverse viewpoints so you get to listen and really understand. This is solid information and a deep dive you're not going to get anywhere else. Not to brag, but just to brag a little bit. Okay, a little. We've been trending and making headlines. Plus, we have more than 1 million downloads. And still counting.
Sometimes, parties can tend to go on slightly longer than planned. For Izzy, that's not a problem at all, since she can now catch the 4, 5, 6, or even 10 p.m. newscasts after they air on the new WFAA+. Party on, kids. Are you a consummate multitasker like Chris Lawrence? Cooking, well, attempting. Dinner for the family while also craving a dose of news? Now you can chop and cook while still tuning in to any live newscast on the new WFAA+.
Your essential local news and weather for free. The WFAA mobile app. Download now.
What a weekend of football it is here at C.H. Collins in Denton. Last night, Allen and Denton Guy are in a 6A clash. Tonight, Aledo and Denton Ryan here on Friday Night Football. Head coaches tonight for Aledo, Coach Tim Buckhannon, his 25th year as the head coach at Aledo, 7 state championships as the head coach, another 3 during his term as athletic director. And for Dave Hennigan from Denton Ryan, his 9th year at Denton Ryan, 106-14 in that span, and a state title in 2020. It will be Aledo football to open things up. Denton Ryan set to kick it away. Heckma Harrison, we have got one of the games of the state tonight in front of us.
Oh, my God, man. You know what, Mike? It gets more and more interesting every week.
last week I didn't know if my heart could take it, right? After what we went through at Brock and Whitesboro, and tonight here we are at C.H. Collins, two of the best in 5A facing off. I mean, like you just said, man, the best in the state tonight.
Well, pooch kick up the near sideline, caught at the 33-yard line by Aledo's Tyson Timms. Not much to speak of in the way of a return because of that, but good field position here to start off for Hoss Haney and the Aledo Bearcats.
Absolutely, and I'm really surprised with the pooch kick, but that give kudos right there to Tyson Timms for being able to handle that kick. And like you just stated, man, the Bearcats get started out on the 35-yard line, and Hoss Haney is on the field.
Devon Keys and Jaden Allen are the deep men for Aledo, and Denton Ryan said, we don't want to mess with that. So it's 1st and 10 at the 35 here for Haney in shotgun. He'll hand off for Hawk Patrick Daniels on the first play of the football game, trying to get outside the numbers, undercut after a pickup of about 3. Nice job by Chance Rucker, Heckma, to secure the tackle.
Hey, that is a stretch play. They're trying to capture that edge, and you can tell right away the Bearcats want to test this Ryan defense. They are stout, okay? They are big up front, big bodies, and we already know number 6, Anthony Hill, one of the best in the nation. Let alone the state, okay? This kid can do it all, and getting out on the side like that's his specialty, sideline to sideline running.
Some issues with the clock here right off the rip. They drop it down to 11:29. I believe they hadn't had it running. Now they do wind the clock and ready for play here on the second play of the football game. Haney with 2 to the near side. Handoff Daniels once again trying to get to the outside, and look at the pursuit from this Denton Ryan defense. Flag behind the play as well in the neighborhood of a hold, and there's Hawk Patrick Daniels and Anthony Hill going nose to nose right after the play.
Holding. Offense number 66. 10-yard penalty. Replay second down.
Don't worry, Patrick Daniels. You will be seeing plenty of Anthony Hill throughout for 4 quarters. Maybe by the end of this game, you'll be sick of seeing him, actually. But Trey Williams, the outside, well, they got him at safety, but he operates like a rover in this defense, man, on the outside, doing a wonderful job of stretching that play out and pushing things back inside.
You heard there a moment ago from Ricky Herron, our referee tonight, leading a 7-man crew. Indeed, it was a hold against Aledo. So that's going to set up a replay of second down, but drop them back to the 27-yard line. It's second down and 17. Haney with 3 to the right. The snap kind of surprised him there, and now whistles at the snap, and you'll say it's going to be a timeout.
Right to the snap. Aledo's first charge timeout of the first half.
Indeed it is. Timeout called by Aledo just 1 minute and 13 seconds into the football game, so a little bit of a herky-jerky start here, Heckma, for the Bearcats. The holding penalty and now having to burn a timeout this early.
Yeah, back behind the sticks. I don't know if Coach Buck just saw something he didn't like to call that early timeout, but whatever it was, they wanted to make sure that they executed it perfectly. You don't see a timeout called this too often in a high school football game. So minute 13 in, obviously, like I said, Coach Buck saw something that gave him pause and wanted to get it right.
Do let us know if you're watching on the WFA YouTube channel tonight, where you're tuning in from, who you're tuning in to see tonight, if you've got a favorite team in this matchup, if you have a favorite player in this matchup. Let us know who your guy is down there on the field, perhaps part of the band or one of the cheerleaders. Let us know who you're tuning in to see tonight. Bill Kenny says he's watching from Pocatello, Idaho, and says go Raiders. Michael Hall, a usual viewer here on Friday Night Football, says he's watching from the Battle of Beltline, Cedar Hill, and DeSoto tonight. Out of the timeout, second down and 17. Haney in shotgun, 2 wides to the right. Play action fake to Patrick Daniels, throwing near side, complete. Jalen Pope hangs on, got hammered by Chance Rucker, but a nice pickup there to get him out to the 40-yard line and make third down a bit more manageable.
Hoss Haney he's automatic on those out routes, Mike. That's his specialty. I mean, it's almost like a long handoff for him. The way that he extends that ball out there, those receivers it's in their hip pocket by the time they get to the sideline. That's just great execution. And Jalen Pope, that's a great catch.
Third down and 5. They've got to get right to the 45-yard stripe to move the chains here on the first set of downs of the football game. Quick throw near side. That one's off target. Incomplete. Intended for Jalen Pope. Maybe some miscommunication between quarterback and wide receiver. And Denton Ryan starts with a stop.
Yeah, that's all on Pope. He kind of cut that route off a little bit shorter. But I tell you what sped that up was Anthony Hill goes from his middle linebacker position out to the edge, and the all-on blitz is coming his way. And so Hoss Haney has to rush that throw as well.
Reed Tovar says he's watching from Phoenix, Arizona tonight in the YouTube comments. Jemima O says Denton Ryan is who she's cheering for tonight. Rossi Tolentino says he's rooting for Aledo as the punt is away. A wobbly kick up the center of the field. Bounces to Jordan Bailey. Dangerously fielded, but here he goes. Right up a crease across midfield. Look at Jordan Bailey showing off the speed on the punt return, and it will be great starting field position for the Ryan Raiders.
That is a dangerous, first of all, fielding that, because that ball could bounce anyway. But Jordan Bailey does a really good job of getting his hands on it and flipping the field position. Getting them past the 50, man. That way to go, Jordan Bailey.
So here's the best thing you can see all night if you're a Denton Ryan Raiders fan. Callan Davis and Caleb Hicks together in the backfield, back healthy and ready to go. You see Hicks had that wrist injury. He has a cast on that wrist. Fortunately, not his throwing arm, so he's able to play through it. He'll be in shotgun, though, most of the night. They would be anyway, but taking a snap would be a little bit more difficult right now with that wrist injury. First play of the game, he throws near side to DeMarcus Lewis, who picks up 4.
Yeah, DeMarcus Lewis, man, this is somebody that you definitely, if you're the Bearcats, you better make sure that you get a handle on where number 1 is. He's a big body receiver, 6'4", 190 pounds. He's one of those guys that when you get down in the red zone, he could be a nightmare to try and match up with because of his size.
2nd down and 6 for this Ryan Raiders offense. Motion man is Braden Mussett across the formation. Handoff Caleb Hicks. Big hole. He's got the first down and then some into the secondary. Cross the 35 and down to the 33. First down, Denton Ryan.
And look at the job that they're doing up front. The center, Joseph Riley, 5'10", 260 pounds. He is just moving that Bearcats nose tackle all the way to the side, all the way to the hash mark. That's a great job and great opening drive right now for the Denton Ryan.
1st and 10 from the 33. Hicks in shotgun. Quick throw near side, complete in the hands of DeMarcus Lewis. That's going to be another pickup of about 9 on the first play of the set. That was a pre-snap read, it certainly looked like, Ekma.
No, it really was. And Callan Davis got that ball out of his hand before DeMarcus Lewis comes out of his break. So that's a great timing route. Takes a lot of time to get that down.
2nd down and a yard. Quick motion here from Jordan Bailey up the seam. What a throw right on target. Caught for the touchdown by DeMarcus Lewis. What a ball from Callan Davis.
And a guy that I was just talking about, Mike, talking about that big body, 6'4", 190, coming down the seam. He splits the safety and the cornerback. And they have got to try and figure out a way to get this guy under wraps because he can do that all night long.
That is a special back shoulder throw from Callan Davis. Welcome back to the starting lineup, young man. 7-0. Denton Ryan with the lead. Callan Davis up the seam for DeMarcus Lewis. And the Ryan Raiders with a fast start. They get the 3-and-out defensively. And to the end zone they go. 7-zip Raiders, early first. To the end zone for South Oak Cliff. Our brand new color commentator, Ekma Harrison. Ekma, welcome to the team.
Man, I'm excited.
Touchdown, Randy Reed. Next week, a rivalry matchup of 6A powers as DeSoto hosts Duncanville. Friday at 7 on the WFAA YouTube channel and WFAA Plus. Callan Davis to DeMarcus Lewis. 23 yards for the game's opening score. And the Denton Ryan Raiders on their home field here at C.H. Collins Athletic Complex in Denton lead at 7-0. Just 3 minutes and 14 seconds into this football game. Ekma Harrison, a dream start here for Dave Hennigan's club.
Yeah, they got to keep it up because you know the Bearcats, they are going to answer. You don't win as many district district games as they have won and get rattled with the first possession. But I will give the Ryan Raiders credit. They came out and they executed perfectly. When I opened, hey, I didn't mean to call my shot there, but I knew immediately that 6'4" body and his wingspan and having Kalen Davis back, what a difference that makes for this Ryan Raiders offense.
Offsides.
These guys have been
Kicking team. Number 15. 5-yard penalty from the dead ball spot. First down, Aledo.
They've been missing Caleb Hicks and Davis. And so they've been handicapped. And so having both of those guys back, man, it means a lot to this squad.
So off the fair catch and the penalty on the kickoff, 1st and 10 from the 33. Hawk Patrick Daniels with a head of steam. Lots of speed to get to the outside, and a first down carry of a dozen to start the possession here for Aledo.
And look at how well this is blocked up on the outside for Patrick Daniels. Number 18, Caden Finley, just a freshman. Okay, a freshman starting for the Aledo Bearcats. And you ask, how good do you have to be a freshman starting for Aledo? And Coach Buck, you got to tell them about this, man. How Coach Buck talked about this freshman.
It was very cool as they line up here for 1st and 10 at the 45. Quick throw near side, complete for Jalen Pope, who gets away for a moment across midfield to the 46 in Denton Ryan territory. He said, listen, I can count all of the freshmen that have started Aledo during my time here with the Bearcats on one hand, and the names are outrageous. Ryan Christian, who's a class of 06, Wes Harris, class of 17, James Williams, class of 18, who was a key piece for TCU all through this season on the offensive line, Jace McClellan, one of the best running backs in America through his time at Aledo, now at Alabama, and add number 5, Caden Finley, the son of Jermichael Finley, the old Green Bay Packers tight end. So he's on a very exclusive list. Look at Hawk Patrick Daniels trying to cut back, and all of that's going to go for 2 yards, but on 2nd and 1, that's enough to move the chains.
He ran for about 15 yards to pick up that 2 yards, and he's down. That's a piece that they definitely need.
Due to injury.
And Patrick Daniels stayed down a little longer than Aledo would have preferred to see. Gets helped off by the training staff. Troy Little and Natalie Hatridge, their training staff, their athletic trainers. He did pick up the first down, 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Caleb Pope will come on in his place. He's to the right of Haney here as he's got a 4 wide receiver set, 2 to either side. Quick throw left side. Caden Finley, the freshman. Doesn't look like a freshman. Picks up 6 as he lowers his shoulder and gets to the 39.
Not at all. And you look at Caden Finley, look at his ability right there. Even as a freshman, he's not wasting any time. He's getting right up the field. I love that to see the wherewithal to look. Let's not dance around, waste any time. Let's get the positive yardage and live to fight another day.
2nd down and 5. Haney looks to the far side to their offensive coordinator, Robbie Jones, as they consider changing the play. Handoff here for Pope, just into the football game, right up the middle of the football field, and a first down to the 28 in Ryan territory.
And one thing that the Aledo Bearcats are going to do is run the ball. You are going to get a heavy dose of them. You better wear your hard hat. You know when you line up against these guys is that they're going to continue to pound it and run it at you. Man, getting them to pass the ball is just a delicacy, right? You love it when they do that, but otherwise it's going to be between the tackles.
1st and 10 here for Haney. Fake the handoff to nobody, and that's going to create a disaster in the backfield. He's taken down for a big loss. Caden Kelly finishing the job, and it's a loss of 7 on the play.
Yeah, that's completely a broken play. As you see Hoss Haney holding the ball out on that RPO. They'll get that corrected, but we have to, think about that Hawk Patrick Daniels goes out of the game, and Caleb Pope comes in, and that's just the byproduct of your main guy going out.
Hawk Patrick Daniels still working things out on the sideline, but standing there right in the white paint, ready to come back on the football field, it would seem. 2nd down and 17. Haney, handoff, Pope, running right guard, lowers his shoulder. He'll get close to the original line of scrimmage, down to the 29-yard line. Take a look at some of the YouTube comments here in the live chat. Forrest and Stephanie Collins say, "Go Bearcats, wish we could be there." Otto Carroll says, watching from Indianapolis, says he's an Ennis Lion fan, but he's pulling for Denton Ryan tonight. 3rd down and 11 for Haney. 3 wide receivers to the left, Pope to his right in the backfield. Gives the handoff to Pope. Hope with a lot of blockers out in front of him. And look at Caleb Pope inside the 15. Twisted down at the 12, but a big pickup on the ground of a 3rd and 11.
Look at this blocking scheme to the outside and the way that the Bearcats are driving these Raiders off of the ball. That is great execution. You think that these guys have no chance to actually get a first down? They go on second and long yardage and pick up the first down. That is excellent.
Fresh 1st and 10 at the 12-yard line. 4:40 to play here in the first quarter. Pope with the handoff again, patient in the hole, and he's able to pick his way for 4 more. Legendary Hunter's tie says Denton Ryan all the way. Jaden Robinson says he's cheering for Aledo. Eric Mellon says this game is so much better than the Cowboys game. He said in person is miserable. I'm not sure exactly what point he's trying to make there. Dog Chaser, a Longhorns fan, hoping that Anthony Hill, the 5-star linebacker, might flip to the Longhorns. We'll see about that. Right up the middle goes Caleb Pope into the end zone. Stayed on his feet the whole way. Caleb Pope, the junior running back, brings Aledo within 1.
This is excellent running by Caleb Pope. And look at number 75, Isaac Sean, just driving into number 6, Anthony Hill. My goodness, this is what, look, this is what I'm telling you about the Bearcats, Mike. They are going to respond. You draw first blood. Don't sit back and think that they are not going to continue to come at you. The Bearcats are here, okay? And for Denton Ryan, if they want to break that streak of district wins, they're going to have to keep the scoring up.
You're going to have to come with it tonight. Caleb Pope with the answer for Aledo, and it's 7-7. 8 minutes into the football game as Aledo answers back.
Hey, I'm Jason. And I'm the other Jason. We're the co-hosts of Yolitics, the unofficial political podcast of Texas. So each week we invite on change makers for cold beer and candid conversations into the issues really affecting Texans.
Yeah, and we're bringing in diverse viewpoints so you get to listen and really understand.
This is solid information and a deep dive you're not going to get anywhere else.
Not to brag,
But just to brag a little bit.
okay, a little. We've been trending and making headlines.
Plus, we have more than 1 million downloads.
And still counting.
Back on Friday Night Football, Aledo ties it up with the Caleb Pope touchdown run. They kick it away, and here comes Chance Rucker from his own 24-yard line. Nice move, leaping over tacklers a couple times, finally undercut after he picked up about 8 yards on the return. That was an athletic effort from the cornerback.
Yeah, you don't want to do that too many times, right? You get up in the air and get upended. Tell you what, man, that made my back hurt, okay? They'd have to care flight me out of here, Mike Leslie, if Heckman Harrison ever came down like that. Do you hear me? Get my wife on the phone immediately. Lord.
1st and 10 for Denton Ryan at the 32. Callan Davis in shotgun. Quick throw near side. Jordan Bailey with a blocker out front, trying to make one miss. Stood on his feet there for a moment as he spun away from Jake Gillespie and picked up 7 on the first play of the series. Daniel Sanchez says go Mean Green as they travel down to San Antonio to take on UTSA tomorrow afternoon.
That's right, go Mean Green.
LaShawn Wilson says watching from Dallas, rooting for Denton Ryan, says Callan Davis is her nephew. We appreciate you tuning in tonight. LaShawn. LaShawn. 2nd and 4, pump and go here up the sideline, but still some miscommunication between Lewis and Callan Davis. Incomplete. Chris Johnson there in coverage, and the Ryan sideline wanted a flag.
Well, these guys are going to be battling this entire game, and you love to see up front right now this battle in the trenches between the Ryan Raiders and the Aledo Bearcats, man. It is starting to take shape, and big Byron Wheeler, I think we got this wrong. They have number 92 at 6 foot, 173 pounds, and I promise you he's not 173 pounds.
Not a chance. Caleb Hicks on 3rd down and 4 runs off left guard and gets quite a bit more than that. We go to a lot of times max preps for those measurements, those heights and weights, and sometimes they're a bit outdated. I think he might have been 6 foot, 173 pounds 4 years ago. Not anymore.
He was probably that at birth. I'm telling you, there's no way that this kid is. He hadn't weighed 173 pounds since kindergarten, okay? There's no way his number 92 is 173 pounds. I'm sorry.
1st and 10 at the 48, still in Ryan's own territory here. Quick throw far side for Jordan Bailey, just a bit too tall and incomplete. Robert Jordan says watching from Beaverton, says go Raiders. Sarah Banks says watching from Memphis, Tennessee, says go Aledo. Kellraiser says I've waited for this game to happen. Love the program at Aledo, but Raider for life. Reed Layton says watching from Honolulu, says get 'em Raiders.
Oh, wow. Can we switch places? Wow. Way to go.
2nd down and 10 off the incompletion. Handoff Hicks, big hole, cutting back. Able to get into Aledo territory at the 45, and that'll set up 3rd down and about 3.
And you see right now, like I said, for both of these squads up front, they're doing such a great job of opening up these holes. And Mike, I can't even imagine what this Raider squad looks like without Kalen Davis and Caleb Hicks in the lineup, man. It just completely changes the way that they do things on offense.
3rd down and 3. Hicks is going to get the handoff. Makes a man miss in the backfield. Strung out. Flag flies in behind in the neighborhood of a hold. They do take him down, in fact, for a loss of about a yard. So you'd imagine if you're Tim Buchanan, you decline this penalty, and well, it's going to be 4th and 4. It's kind of no man's land. Does Ryan decide to go for it? I guess we'll see. A little chess match here between the coaches with these two decisions.
Holding. Number 80. 10-yard penalty from the previous replay, 3rd down.
Yeah, they're going to take the penalty because, like you just said, Mike, they're in no man's land. And so if you think about it, obviously the coaches are going to say, we're going to go for that on 4th and 3. And so, make it a little bit longer and give them more to think about.
3rd down and 13 then off of that decision. And it's going to be 3rd and 18 as Caleb Hicks just stutter-stepped in the backfield and false started.
False start. Offense, number 2. 5-yard penalty. Remains 3rd down.
That's adding insult to injury right there. So that's killing a drive that started off pretty well for the Raiders. So let's see what Coach Dave Hennigan has in his bag.
3rd down and 18 now. 3 wides to the right of Callan Davis. Straight drop. Pressure in his face quickly. Spins away. Throws near side. Incomplete at the feet of Caleb Hicks. And it's 4th down. So ultimately the decision pays off for Tim Buchanan.
Yeah, it does. Absolutely. And you see the way that this Bearcats defense, they are so strong and quick at the point of attack up front, getting pressure with just their 4 down linemen. And I think this is going to be key through the rest of this matchup because that's going to disrupt everything that they do on the back half, what they're trying to do up the field on offense. So keep your eyes on that.
The punt is away from Braden Mussett, high into the Denton sky up the far sideline and out of bounds. Punted way away from the Aledo return man, Devon Keys. They will mark it out of bounds at the 33-yard line, and back comes Hoss Haney. And this Aledo offense. Another look at the YouTube comments as we're now up about 1,200 of you watching with us right now on the WFA YouTube channel. Please click the like button on this broadcast and click the subscribe button here on the WFA YouTube channel as we will bring you a high school football game every week on Friday Night Football, even into the postseason, as we will bring you playoff games from around North Texas. 1st and 10 from the 33 here for Haney. 3 wides to the right. Handoff Caleb Pope. Still yet to see Hawk Patrick Daniels come back in this football game since he left with that injury. And the Denton Ryan front up to the task there on 1st down and 10. No gain.
And you see the patient running up front, but boy, Anthony Hill, you see why he is so special at the middle linebacker position, the way that he plugged that hole and put Caleb Pope down. It's a great job by number 6. This kid is so special, the Texas A&M commit.
Simply put, the best linebacker in America. 2nd down and 10, Haney. Off play action, pressure, trying to dance away, comes to the near sideline, still looking downfield, fires, tipped and caught. Caught on the run by Caleb Pope, and he's out of bounds at the 41-yard line. What a fortunate bounce that was for Aledo.
Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good, right? And that is what Hoss Haney is in this situation. Simply put, balls bounce like that, tips and overthrows. As a defense, you got to get those, but they go to the other team. When you have something like that happen as a defense, it just deflates you.
1st and 10 at the 41-yard line, and now Haney's going to keep it himself off the fake. Able to pick up 4 on the first play of the set.
And Hoss Haney, he does such a good job, so masterful of setting up the next play. They've been going with those stretch plays, a lot of those RPOs, trying to get the ball on the outside. And what does he do? He comes right back and he goes with a design run to himself. Really throws the Raiders off when he does that. So you got to watch him at all times.
Perhaps the final snap here of the opening frame. 2nd down and 6. Handoff here for Pope. Big hole once again. Knifes through it into the secondary inside the 30 and down to the 26-yard line. Another Aledo 1st down.
And just look at this blocking up front. This is where it all starts. These guys are just bulldozing them out on this right side, man. It doesn't get any better than that. Isaac not that big.
That is the end of the first quarter.
Not that big, but man, this kid has a base and he is moving guys out of the way.
That's the opening period. 7-7 after 1, but Aledo on the move when we return on Friday Night Football. To the end zone for South Oak Cliff.
Our brand new color commentator, Heckma Harrison. Heckma, welcome to the team.
Man, I'm excited.
Touchdown, Randy Reed. Next week, a rivalry matchup of 6A powers as DeSoto hosts Duncanville. Friday at 7 on the WFAA YouTube channel and WFAA Plus.
Hey, I'm Jason. And I'm the other Jason. We're the co-hosts of Yolitics, the unofficial political podcast of Texas. So each week we invite on change makers for cold beer and candid conversations into the issues really affecting Texans.
Yeah, and we're bringing in diverse viewpoints so you get to listen and really understand.
This is solid information and a deep dive you're not going to get anywhere else.
Not to brag,
But just to brag a little bit.
okay, a little. We've been trending and making...
What did you think about that?
Back in Denton, 1st and 10 for the Aledo Bearcats. Ball at the 26-yard line as they now move right to left here in this second period. Tied at 7, Caleb Pope with a 9-yard touchdown run to answer Callan Davis's touchdown pass to DeMarcus Lewis. Now Hawk Patrick Daniels back in the football game, but going nowhere on his first carry since returning. Good defensive play, Anthony Hill there once again.
And that's an easy read from the middle linebacker position. Once he sees Hoss put that ball into the belly of Hawk Patrick Daniels, he is in go mode, right? He's not waiting on anything. That's his read. And for this defense, they are just wanting to make sure that Hoss Haney doesn't take it out the back door, because if he does, he's gone and he's by himself.
2nd down and 10. Patrick Daniels with the carry once again. This time a lot more space. Cuts inside. He's going to be close to a 1st down. He'll have it at the 16.
It's so hard to read and key off of him. the way that these guys are blocking up front. But the thing for Patrick Daniels is his short area quickness. He's one of those guys that he can cut on a dime and get up the field and also get back out to the outside. That's the difference between him and Caleb Pope. As you mentioned, more of a patient, more of a slow, methodical runner, not number one.
Fresh first down at the 16-yard line now. Haney gonna follow blockers, running off left tackle, and Denton Ryan's front up to the task on that one, maybe a gain of 2.
And big number 90, Trey Bates, he's got a guy wrapped all over him. Number 75, Isaac Schoen, all over him, and he is just doing a good job of wrapping up front and not gonna allow Hoss Haney to get even more positive yards and setting up a 2nd and 8. Already down in the red zone again on the Bearcats.
100 seconds into this second period. 3 wide receivers to the right here for Hoss Haney. Handoff here for Pope, running left tackle, taken down by his ankles from behind. Daryl Higgins with the tackle.
Yeah, and you can already tell this is the problem that I have with this drive. Denton Ryan is already arm tackling. These guys, you see them on these blocks and they're getting their arms out. What that means is as this game goes and the more that this Bearcats offensive line starts to lean on them, those arm tackles won't bring these guys down.
3rd down and 6. They've got to get inside the 12 for a first down. Handoff Pope. In the hole, swallowed up by this Denton Ryan defense. It's going to be 4th down and 2.
Boy, this is a decision to make, right? Here you are. If you're the Bearcats, Coach Buchanan is probably thinking to himself, 4th and 3. Kicking it is probably out of the question right now. He's going to go for this.
Neither team feels like they've got a whole lot in the way of field goal range. From here, it would be about a 25, 26-yard field goal. No hesitation. Hoss Haney in the offense on the field. Timeout before the snap.
Aledo's second charge timeout, the first half.
So now Aledo down to 1 timeout for these final 9 minutes and 12 seconds. Denton Ryan still yet to take one here in this opening half, but before a play of this kind of import, Heckma, you've got to make sure that you've got everything buttoned up.
No, absolutely. You want the right play. You're down in the red zone. And sometimes, Mike, when you get into the playoffs and you don't have a kicker that you can trust to put 3 points on the board, that's the difference between winning and losing. And Coach Buchanan knows that, right? In a situation like this, you're going for it. Obviously, you want to just pile on. You're in the second quarter here. He's even a minute and 13 seconds in, taking the timeout to make sure that he had the right play on. So you got to know that he's going to do that again. He wants perfect execution on this 4th and 3. Can't wait to see what they come out with.
Jim Roth in the YouTube comments says top flight high school football in this game. He said it pretty much comes down to possessions. You're right about that, and this is a key one right here. It's been a good drive for Aledo. Can they finish it? 4th down and 3. Again, got to get inside the 12, almost to the 11 for a first down. Haney in shotgun, takes the snap, coming near side, lead blockers all the way. He'll go to the pylon. Touchdown, Aledo. Hoss Haney gives Aledo their first lead of the football game.
This is drawn up perfectly. Design quarterback run. Right off the top, you see the way that they're blocking on the outside. Hoss Haney had no intention on handing that ball off. Man, and Aledo has come out. Like I said, Mike, you score on them in that first drive, you better keep throwing punches because they're going to keep coming.
Hoss Haney with the answer. He and Caleb Pope both finding the end zone. The extra point despite the low snap is up and through, and it's 14-7. The Aledo Bearcats, the number 4 team in the state of Texas, behind their junior quarterback, in front in Denton. To the end zone for South Oak Cliff.
Our brand new color commentator, Heckma Harrison. Heckma, welcome to the team.
Man, I'm excited.
Touchdown, Randy Reed. Next week, a rivalry matchup of 6A powers as DeSoto hosts Duncanville. Friday at 7 on the WFAA YouTube channel and WFAA Plus. C.H. Collins Athletic Complex, the site tonight. 11,500 the capacity here in Denton, Texas. Last night, a marquee matchup between Denton Guyer and Allen. Won in a romp by Denton Guyer. Tonight, an even better matchup. Denton Ryan and Aledo, and Aledo leads it 14-7. Early on here in the second quarter. Kickoff through the end zone. Give you a look at the district win streaks in the history of Texas high school football. And Aledo there at the top by a country mile. Heckma, 34 more wins than the next longest streak. Katie's streak snapped recently. Allen's streak snapped last year right here on Friday Night Football against Prosper. Newton, the only other team on that list with an active streak. And then, of course, Denton Ryan had a 52-game win streak snapped just a couple weeks ago against Burleson Centennial, but 109 straight district wins. It's unbelievable.
I mean, the streak itself and just talking about it is unbelievable. You have to go back and check it and look at it. Is that 109? Is that correct? I mean, when these guys started this streak, Barack Obama was an unknown senator in Illinois, right? This goes back a pretty long way, okay? That's to let you know how good these guys have been and for how long.
Carry for 3 yards there on the first play of the series here for Denton Ryan by Jordan Bailey. Sets up 2nd down and 7. Handoff for Caleb Hicks, but swallowed up by Brian Wheeler. Nowhere for him to go, maybe a gain of a yard for Hicks.
And Brian Wheeler gets all 173 pounds of himself on that tackle. Way to go, Brian.
We'll have to get a more accurate height to wait for.
No, I'm gonna go with what I got here on this paper.
I'm gonna say he might be 3 bills. See, he's got to be 280 anyway.
Man, that's a big kid.
Aledo showing blitz off the left side. Andrew Parkhurst considering coming. He will come. Davis on the straight drop. Flips it over the top for Hicks. Bobbled it. And that's going to prevent him from being able to get the first down. That gave Cap Mooney enough time to swallow him up. And it's going to be 4th down and 4.
Oh, Caleb Hicks is going to be so upset with himself because if he's able to secure this pass, as shifty as he is, he's able to turn around, face the defender, and make a move and get to the first down. Boy, that is unfortunate for the Ryan Raiders offense. They're coming out, they're looking at a 4th down. They're going to have to punt it, and guess what? They put this Bearcats offense back on the field, which is scorching hot right now.
Here comes Braden Mussett to punt the football away. Punts it up the near sideline. Very clearly they are trying to keep the football away from this return game for Aledo. Jake Gillespie was the deep man this time. Perfectly angled punt, by the way, by Braden Mussett. Landed right on the sideline at the 40-yard line, and that's where Aledo will take over.
And that's great design, and you got to give him credit for what he did. Lands right at the 40-yard line, but this Ryan defense is going to have to show up or this could get ugly, okay? They're going to have to do a better job of stopping the run. Doesn't matter which running back they come with. Both of these guys are having some success. Number 1, Hawk Patrick Daniels and Caleb Pope. They're a two-headed monster for this Bearcats offense.
1st and 10 at the 40. Hawk Patrick Daniels on the carry. Makes a man miss in the backfield. Nice effort to turn that into a 3-yard gain as he was 5 yards in the backfield and looked like he was in trouble.
That's exceptional. Look at that. He is literally stopped behind the line of scrimmage. That should be a negative play. And he splits the defender who's with the arm tackle and still picks up positive yards. That's supposed to be a loss of 4 on that play. And then he comes out with 3 yards. That's excellent running.
2nd down and 7 as a result after he made Eli Wallace miss in the backfield. And he'll get the carry once again. Hopping in the hole, chased from behind by Anthony Hill and eventually pounced on by the senior linebacker on his way to Texas A&M, but not before he picks up another 3 yards, and it's 3rd and 4.
Anthony Hill's got to be asking himself, how do I get this guy on the ground? I have him. I had him in my hands. I know I did. And then he's just so fast and elusive. A guy that keeps his legs churning. As a linebacker, you hate to come against guys like that because you just, you want to get your shoulder pads on him, but the guy's moving so fast, so you're trying to grab him, and he's just too elusive.
3rd down and 4. Haney to the air off the straight drop. Quick throw near side. Complete. Wide open was Tyson Timms. He's got the 1st down and then some into Ryan territory at the 45.
Denton Ryan is going to have to do a better job of shielding these out routes because that is automatic for Hoss Haney. You could tell he and his running backs are in such sync with one another when they get to those out routes. Those are just perfect possession receptions for this offense, and he can do that all night long, work his way up the field, and then call his own number into the end zone.
1,400 of you with us right now on the WFAA YouTube channel. Ty Martin says shout out to the Aledo offensive line coach Corley. 1st and 10. Daniels chased from behind and he's going to be taken down in the backfield. Marquee Hill changing numbers from 44 to 8 tonight and still making plays.
And still a nightmare, Mike. Okay, Marquee Hill doing a wonderful job chasing Haney. But, boy, they have got to figure out a way to get a stop here if you are the Denton Ryan Raiders, because this Bearcats offense has figured something out. And the way that Hoss Haney is just staying so composed, he's toying with them at this point.
Quick moving football game. Only 7:42 at night. It's already 4.5 minutes left here in the 2nd quarter. Handoff here for Caleb Pope running near side, and there's Anthony Hill once again. The tackle made at the 44-yard line, and it's going to be 3rd down and 9.
And that's just a stark contrast between these two running backs. And you see Caleb Pope, I don't mean to call him slow, okay, because he's not slow.
No, yeah.
I'm just saying that he's very methodical and very patient, uses his vision. When you see Hawk Patrick Daniels come into the game, he's just glitchy, all right? People say twitchy, glitchy, whatever it is. He's moving fast is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. 3rd down and 9. Haney likely to go to the air once again here. Straight drop out of shotgun. Steps forward in the pocket, slings it downfield, the honey hole, diving, the catch is made. Jalen Pope on the receiving end. 1st down, Aledo, deep in Ryan territory.
And all of that is set up by all of the running that he's doing. Look at the confusion that he has going on in the back half of this offense. Man, these guys don't know who has the ball and who doesn't. If Hoss Haney can put a little bit more air under that ball, hey, Jalen Pope walks into the end zone.
1st and 10 at the 16. He put that thing on a line. I think he probably expected a safety over the top. There was none, and it could have been 6 there. Instead, 1st and 10, handoff here for Pope into the center of the line, and good leg drive to fight for maybe 5 on the carry.
I tell you what, we just got a shout out on the stream for the offensive line coach. He is feeding these guys something, because up front, these guys are mean, and you can tell they are pushing this Denton Ryan defensive line back. The size of this defensive line, first of all, this is much bigger than the Bearcats offensive line, okay? But it doesn't matter, man. They're getting underneath these guys' pads and using the leverage. I love the game plan for the Bearcats.
Devon Keys, the linebacker, in there for the carry here on 2nd down and 6 into the pile. He's going to be close to 1st down yardage.
I mean, who else do they have to run the ball? Devon Keys comes in and he pushes the pile forward, and this is just good running right now, and the Bearcats are just wearing down on this front for Denton Ryan with a 3rd and inches coming up here.
Certainly under a yard to go here. Haney in shotgun. 2 running backs in the backfield with him. Handoff here for Keys. Stood up in the backfield, lunges though, and I think with the 2nd effort he may have gotten the 1st down. He does indeed. 1st down, Aledo.
Now, I don't know too many linebackers that can spin move on Anthony Hill for a 1st down. I mean, that's unbelievable, and that's a good job by your 3rd string running back.
They've got a lot of kids they can throw out there. Hawk Patrick Daniels, we've seen
Ryan's
Pope,
first star's timeout of the first half.
Dave Hennigan says, hang on a second. Let's see if we can gather ourselves here late in this first half to try and get a stop here inside the 10-yard line. But yeah, Hawk Patrick Daniels, Caleb Pope, Devon Keys, Ryan Cox, Cap Mooney, all guys that you can see carry the football out of the backfield for this Aledo Bearcats team. In addition to, oh, by the way, Haas Haney, who's about as fast as anybody on the team.
Just stop it.
It's crazy, man.
It really is. I mean, you know what? We call so many games, Mike. We see such great talent. And then when it lines up and you're in front of it and you're just like, oh, they are special. And what we're seeing right now is absolutely special. Doesn't matter what level you're on. And you think about Aledo, they're moving up basically a division to D1 here, and there's no difference from the domination that they've had in years past. I mean, this is a Bearcats team that looks like they are primed and ready for a state championship run.
Out of the timeout, a tight formation here for Aledo on 1st and goal. 3 backs on a power eye. Handoff Keys, running left side, lowering his shoulder to the pile, to the end zone, and he's in. Touchdown, Devon Keys. 3 straight scores from the Aledo Bearcats to answer in a big way.
And it's hard not to score when you have number 32, Ansel Denbu, just blocking guys to the porta potties. That is how you get it done. I mean, how do you stop that, Mike? I'm telling you, there's no way that you draw this up in practice, or practice team, practice squad comes out and they can simulate that same kind of power. I mean, that is a lot to deal with.
Give you one more look at this as we head to break. Devon Keys. It's all defensive guys in front of him. Cap Mooney and Ansel Denbu leading their fellow linebacker and defender into the end zone. Touchdown Aledo, 21-17, late first half.
Hey, I'm Jason. And I'm the other Jason. We're the co-hosts of Yolitics, the unofficial political podcast of Texas. So each week we invite on change makers for cold beer and candid conversations into the issues really affecting Texans.
Yeah, and we're bringing in diverse viewpoints so you get to listen and really understand.
This is solid information and a deep dive you're not going to get anywhere else.
Not to brag,
But just to brag a little bit.
okay, a little. We've been trending and making headlines.
Plus, we have more than 1 million downloads.
And still counting.
(21-7). The Aledo Bearcats, number 4 in the state rankings in 5A D1. And Tim Buchanan's club playing really good football so far. They get set to kick it away here with $1:48 to play in this opening half. And Denton Ryan would really like to make something of these final 108 seconds. Right up the middle of the football field goes their return man, Royale Brown, one of their reserve wide receivers, out to the 22-yard line. And back comes this Ryan Raiders offense.
Yeah, Royale Brown saw just a sliver of daylight, thought that he could hit it, but it closed quickly, and the Bearcats are just, man, it doesn't matter if it's special teams, offense, or defense, man. These guys are playing assignment sound tonight.
It will be Ryan football to begin the second half. So with 1:42 and two timeouts to work with here for Dave Hennigan's club, what can they make happen? Handoff here right up the middle. Caleb Hicks, good run. Ran into the teeth of Jake Gillespie, but not before he picked up 10 and a first down.
Yeah, and that's exactly what they need. They need these kind of drives from Caleb Hicks. They got to put this ball in his navel and just tell him, look, bring us to the red zone. Let us have a long, sustained drive where we move the chains. Give this defense a break.
Quick throw near side. Braden Mussett with the leaping catch at the 42. That's going to be another first down, a pickup of 11.
Ooh, they got lucky. Jaden Allen falls down, okay? The University of Texas commit, he sees this the whole way from Braden Mussett. When he gets ready to break on this ball, he falls down. Boy, I'm telling you, Mike, if he was able to stay on his feet, he hits his head on the goalpost.
Instead, the catch by Mussett, 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. Down to 55 seconds. A lot of time came off there before they snapped it. Davis pressured, trying to dance away, still on his feet, able to throw the football. They're going to say incomplete pass, and they are pointing to Caleb Hicks that was in the area. No flag on the play. Good fight from Callan Davis to avoid the sack.
Boy, look at Denbu. He is standing his guy up, staying in the lane, making sure that guys don't get on the outside, but that is a strong young man, the senior. Doing a good job, not only blocking it up front as a fullback, but also getting sacks for the Bearcats.
Man, it's hard not to imagine that Dave Hennigan's heart was in his throat there with so much contact on Callan Davis with that left arm in a cast. Timeout here called after the 1-yard run by Caleb Hicks. 42 seconds left here in the half. Back to a point we made earlier, not a whole lot of field goal range.
Second charge timeout, the first half.
Not a whole lot of field goal range to speak of for Denton Ryan, maybe out to 30, 35 yards. So they got a long way to go to be able to find points here in the next 42 seconds.
Yeah, and really danger zone for them right now, okay? 42 seconds, and unfortunately for Aledo, they don't have, I don't believe they have any timeouts left.
Aledo's got one. Both
they
teams
got
now
one.
with one.
Okay,
yeah.
They have one. And so I'm sure that they're thinking Hoss Haney can try and get these guys down there and potentially get a score with 42, well, let's say 30 some odd seconds is going to be on the clock by the time they take the ball over again. So, but I do agree with you for Denton Ryan. I guess they could seek solace in the fact that they're going to get the ball in the second half. But coming out of this first one, man, they've got to be asking themselves what adjustments can they make, because offensively, the Bearcats have their head just spinning right now.
On 3rd down and 9 with this much time left in the first half, I almost wonder why not try a deep shot to Jordan Bailey or to Marcus Lewis if you're Denton Ryan. They've got 4 wide receivers here. They've got to get to the 48 in Aledo territory to pick up the first down. Drop it down here for Caleb Hicks. That's not going to be enough for the first down as Captain Mooney shoves him out of bounds, still on Denton Ryan's side of the field at the 49. It'll be 4th down and 3. It looks like they're going to keep the offense on the. This is a dicey spot here for Denton Ryan. Big time risk reward. 24 on the play clock. Plenty of time to think about it here. Still looking near side to Pat Gallion, their offensive coordinator. Davis now barks out the play to the offensive lineman. Down to 10 on the play clock. Timeout, Denton Ryan.
Ryan's 3rd and final charge timeout of the first half.
Why is my heart in my throat? Because I'm saying to myself here, Dave, what are you thinking on this play? You know, you're in a dangerous spot, because if you don't pick up this first down, you give the Bearcats the ball on your 49.
Yeah, in plus territory.
In plus, with a quarterback right now that's hitting everything.
Yeah.
So, yeah, this is an interesting call.
We'll see whether or not the offense returns to the field out of this timeout. Dave Hennigan talking to his club on the far sideline. Brad McCone talking to his defense. They've got to get to the 48-yard line in Aledo territory for a first down. Not a punter to be seen on the football field. Davis in shotgun. Hicks to his left. 2 wides to either side. Motion man is Bailey. Straight drop. Over the middle. Incomplete. Looking for Mussett. Too tall, and it's Aledo football with 33 seconds left in the second quarter.
Oh, they had a great play call, and Braden Mussett just not tall enough to climb the ladder for that throw from Davis. They call a post route in between that cover 2. They get the safety coming down and concentrating on Jordan Bailey, but just not enough to get the ball to Mussett. And here we are, the Bearcats with 33 seconds and a timeout with the ball.
Ball sits at the 49 in Ryan territory. 3 wides to the right here for Haney. Pressure off the right side, fires that way, complete. Yes, held on to by Jalen Pope on the sideline. Great throw, better catch. First down, Aledo.
I'm telling you, this kid, Hoss Haney, is automatic on these out routes, man.
I'm not sure that should have stayed as a catch. That ball came out at the end and he was out of bounds when he landed. That might have been something that would have been, but maybe should have been incomplete. Haney dancing around here on 1st and 10. Looking downfield, firing into single coverage, and it's picked off. Intercepted at the 13-yard line by Denton Ryan's Trey Williams, the sophomore.
And that's Hoss Haney just trying to make something happen. He's going all the way over. I mean, look, he's being pursued. He's going to the opposite hash and throwing the ball across his body back to the middle of the field. A sin for quarterbacks. And a turnover.
He was trying to find Gavin Olenjack, a young man whose name we hadn't called yet tonight. Had 2 touchdowns last week against Burleson Centennial. And now with 6 seconds left in the half, Denton Ryan content to take that interception, kneel on the football, and head to the locker room. 21-7. The Aledo Bearcats, number 4 team in the state, Heckma Harrison, with a lead at halftime on the road against Ryan.
This has been an unbelievable pace. It's 7:56, okay? I'm having to just ask myself, what just happened?
Yeah.
We hadn't had I don't feel like I've had an opportunity to just take a breath and get in the rhythm of this game. That's how fast and furious this first half has been. Mike, I'm telling you, this Bearcats team right now, they have the Denton Ryan guys, just their heads are spinning. Offensively, Hoss Haney is doing it all. The play design, the way that they're setting it up, and then stretching the field, they're breaking down this zone that the Raiders are running and attacking everything on the outside. They just don't have an answer for it. Even when they have a guy underneath and another guy over the top, you saw right there, Hoss Haney is able to get the ball and fit it into the honey hole to Jalen Pope and just make it look easy. Whether it was a catch or not, the location of the ball is what I'm looking at, and I'm telling you, it's just like, how do the Raiders respond to what they're doing offensively, man? This second half is going to be really interesting.
It will be Ryan Raider football to start the second half, and do they ever need an answer to 3 straight scores from Aledo to end the first half? And they lead it 21-7 at halftime on Friday Night Football. To the end zone for South Oak Cliff.
Our brand new color commentator, Heckma Harrison. Heckma, welcome to the team.
Man, I'm excited.
Touchdown, Randy Reed. Next week, a rivalry matchup of 6A powers as DeSoto hosts Duncanville. Friday at 7 on the WFAA YouTube channel and WFAA Plus.
In a world filled with motion, we are the constant. Filled with storms, we are the calm. Filled with uncertainty, we are reassurance. We bring the truth. We bring hope, conviction, a legacy of grit, determination, honesty, and relevant reporting that doesn't just inform, but inspires. We are WFAA.
Back in Denton, it is halftime. 21-7, the score in favor of the Aledo Bearcats. But it's time for your show from both teams' respective bands, the Aledo Bearcats Band and the Ryan Raider Band. First up, the visiting band, the Aledo Bearcats Band, under the direction of Joey Paul. We hope you enjoy the show.
The Aledo Independent City is crowned with the award-winning Bearcat Regiment. Touching the league is the saxophone. Overall ensemble members of the league are Chloe Tripper and Morgan Furlow. Leadership team members of the league are Avery Chadwick and Nolan Jones. Band members of the league are Justin Paul and Garrett Lamb. Aledo show is across the entire city. It features the following music selections: Concerto on F, New York State of Mind, America the Beautiful, Rhapsody in Blue, and the Empire State of Mountain. And now, under the field direction of drum majors J. Claire Anderson, Hannah Clark, and Sam Elson, we present the 8-time UIL State Marching Finalist, the Aledo Bearcat Regiment.
Quite a show from the Aledo Bearcats regiment, including a couple of football players. You see Brody Heimke and Luke Shelton both making their way off the field after taking part in the halftime show with the Aledo Bearcats band. We appreciate a fantastic show from them. Next up, the Ryan Raider Band under the direction of Mary Brown, Jared Beard, and Frank Chappell. They take the field now. We hope you enjoy the show.
Team representatives for 2022-2023 are Bernadette Vega, Maxine Mayfield, and Olivia Barnes. Proud sponsors of the RHS Struggers are Maddox Exterminator, Monica Torres Mateo, Mi Casita Mexican Food, dance officers of 2022-2023 are Junior Lieutenant Hope Austin, Junior Lieutenant Jaden Lester, Junior Lieutenant Allison Reddy, Lieutenant Captain Cedric Jacobs, Captain Zaya Brooks. Star of the Week is Hannah Wood. Spirit Girl of the Week is Trinity Gomez. And the Teacher of the Week is Mr. A.J. Ridgway. Now watch and enjoy as the Stutters bring you their traditional cool jazz routine to the Ryan Raider Band's rendition of Thriller. now, for your continued halftime entertainment, the spirit and pride of Ryan High School, the award-winning Ryan Band and Color Guard. The Ryan Marching Band this past weekend earned all superior divisions at UIL Division II Marching Contest. This Saturday, October 22nd, the Ryan Band will be competing at the UIL Area B Marching Contest in McKinney. Good luck, Ryan Marching Band. Band members of the week are freshman Cole Logan, sophomore David Benson, senior I.J. Ebersole. Color guard member of the week is Brian Ellis, and the section of the week is the Flutes. The band is under the field leadership of drum majors Hillary Atta, Kirsten Rodriguez, and Camila Rucci. The Ryan Band presents their marching contest show, Horizon. Ryan Band directors are Larry Brown, Jared Beard, and Frank Chow. Color guard director is Devin Ryan. Ryan Band and directors send their best wishes to the Aledo High School Band for continued success this year.
Football is back, and not a moment too soon. Like our local teams, Aledo and Denton puts teamwork and dedication into our daily work practice. We do whatever it takes to serve our community and support high school football. Shop us now at ToyotaDenton.com. Easy purchase of your own, and we'll deliver to your home. And if you need service, our certified technicians work in all makes and models. Enjoy complimentary pickup and delivery for all scheduled service, and complimentary loaner cars. Toyota, vaccinated and operated.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, nobody works harder than the drill team, the flags, the bands. They practice as hard as these football players do. On both sides of the field, you Bearcat fans, you Raider fans, let's give these young people a big round of applause and show them we appreciate it. And thank them. And we love it.
As we welcome you back here in Denton, what a halftime show from the Aledo Bearcats Band and the Ryan Raider Band. 21-7, our halftime score, as you see there on your screen. Halftime stats, Aledo, all three of their touchdowns coming on the ground, Heckma Harrison, and more than doubling up the Ryan Raiders in total yards.
It's been the ground game, and I think it's been the way that these guys have been executing up front, and it's all due to their offensive line, just really driving this defensive line for the Ryan Raiders. Hoss Haney, can't say enough about the job that he's doing with keeping things balanced. It's you look at the total pass yards and the total rush yards, 103 to 120. I think by definition that's what balance is all about. But you talk about those 3 touchdowns that they've scored on the ground. He's just done so much right now. And Ryan, whatever adjustments they've made at halftime, they've got to come out and they have got to execute. The aggression on the Ryan Raiders side, man, just really hadn't been there other than that first drive. And after that, it just seemed like they took their foot off the pedal and just allowed the Bearcats to have their way. They're down by 14. They're not out of it by any stretch of the imagination, but they have got to execute and play better.
Denton Ryan opened the scoring tonight. Got a 3-and-out out of the Aledo offense, then drove down the field. Callan Davis to DeMarcus Lewis on a 23-yard touchdown pass, and they led this game, Heckma, 7-0. But was it ever a profound answer from the Aledo Bearcats to come right back down the field? Caleb Pope finished it off with the 9-yard touchdown run to tie the game up at 7. And then their defense really did a nice job on Denton Ryan to kind of close off their progress for the balance of the first half, and then setting up their ground game. Hoss Haney and Devon Keys both with touchdown runs in that opening half as well to set this 21-7 score. It's been a complete first half from Aledo.
Yeah, and I think for Denton Ryan, they came out, they got that score, but just like a heavyweight prize fight or prize fighting period, those early rounds, they mean something, But when you go into those championship rounds, those later rounds, and with a guy that's been there before, he knows how to handle himself and withstand the barrage of punches that you put on. And I think Denton Ryan just came out with a flurry. And you just see the Bearcats, they stand there and say, look, that's all you got? Because, look, we're coming right back down. We're going to score on you. Not only are we going to score on you, we're going to put our defense out here on the field. They're going to stop you and not allow you to pick up any yardage. And I think this Denton Ryan offense right now is kind of out of sorts. And so they've got to find their way.
Royale Brown finding his way right into Devon Keys on the return. Gets it out to the 23-yard line, but gets punished for it. And out comes this Denton Ryan offense. Another look at the return here from Brown.
Oh, man, this is what they call a decleater, right? And I can see the bottom of your shoes, and that means you have been decleated. And Devon Keys is a guy that's hey, he has a touchdown also in this game. This guy's just doing it all out here, and this has been complete domination as they come right back to their hard-hitting ways to start the second half.
1st and 10 from the 23. Bailey in motion. Handoff. Caleb Hicks. Nice move to get to the outside by the Oklahoma commit. Chased down from behind by Jake Gillespie, but not before he picks up 5 on the first play of the second half.
They are going to need Hicks to run like that. It's got to be downhill, and it's got to be forceful. They have got to get him going to get the balance going back on their offense.
Officially give him 6 on the carry. Quick throw near side. Jordan Bailey hit immediately. Read brilliantly. And the tackle from Andrew Parkhurst as he was on the scene in a blink.
Yeah, look at Parkhurst. He's reading this. Literally, if they're coming from the edge position. Number 21, that's Christian Hillman, the DN. He's coming all the way out there on Jordan Bailey. They are looking, they know that the only chance that they have is those stretch plays with Jordan Bailey, getting him out in space and allowing their athletes to do what they do. That's good traction for number 21, Christian Hillman.
So a loss of 2 on the play. 3rd down and 6. They've got to get to the 33 for a first down. 2 wides to the top of the formation for Davis. Going to try and take off and run for it right up the middle. The first running attempt of the football game, not by Caleb Hicks, goes for a first down with Callan Davis.
And that's a good job by Callan Davis. He is trying to find an open receiver. They're going to call it, maybe a coverage sack, but just out of necessity, he understands that play is breaking down and he needs to get to the sticks to pick up a first down.
Out to the 37-yard line and a first down. Two minutes gone by here in the 3rd quarter. Handoff, Caleb Hicks. Nice cut upfield across the 40, across the 45, and a pickup of 9.
And this is where Denton Ryan is at their best. When Caleb Hicks is running like this, they are hard to deal with.
Injured player is Jaden Allen, the 4-star Texas commit at cornerback for the Aledo Bearcats, favoring that right shoulder and immediately being tended to by the Aledo athletic trainer, Troy Little.
That's a guy that you don't want to see go down. If you're Aledo, hopefully it's just a stinger. You see him moving those fingers around, and well, if you've ever had a stinger, it is painful. Doesn't sound like much, but when your arm goes dead and you can't feel the tips of your fingertips.
2nd down and a yard after the injury timeout there for Jaden Allen, BJ's little brother, and that's a flag on the near side, and it's going to be a false start against Denton Ryan.
And they catch Jacob Warren moving up front, and Christian Hillman is yelling the whole time, hey man, this guy is moving, you don't throw the flag already. Finally he gets the call.
2nd down and 6 off the penalty. Handoff, Caleb Hicks, big head of steam. He'll have the first down. Forget the penalty. He moves the chains anyway, and they're out to midfield.
Yeah, I love it. I love what the Raiders have come out with. This is really good running from this Denton Ryan team, getting downhill quickly and keeping this Bearcats defense on their heels. When you have a runner like Caleb Hill and a weapon the way that this Oklahoma commit is, man, you have got to put the ball in his belly and let him do what he does.
Nikki Thomas Cruz says in the YouTube comments that she's tuning in to see her great nephew, Royale Brown. He had the kickoff return moments ago. Quick throw on the outside, and here goes Jordan Bailey up the sideline. Look at the speed from Jordan Bailey. 50 yards on the catch and run, and Denton Ryan right back in it in a blink.
Hey, Mike Leslie, Jordan Bailey fast.
Oh, yeah.
He said, look at that. I mean, he is taking one step in between the 5-yard marker, and he is moving. And that's a play design. They've been trying to set that up. They tried to get it out to him before Christian Hillman. It completely spoiled the play. They try it on the other side, give Jordan Bailey more room on that side, and you can tell what the TCU commit can do with the ball in his hands in space. No one touched him. Look at this, man. Look, no one got a finger on Jordan Bailey. Goodness gracious, that is moving fast.
One good block, and up the sideline he goes, and we got ourselves a football game now on Friday Night Football. To the end zone for South Oak Cliff.
Our brand new color commentator, Heckma Harrison. Heckma, welcome to the team.
Man, I'm excited.
Touchdown, Randy Reed. Next week, a rivalry matchup of 6A powers as DeSoto hosts Duncanville. Friday at 7 on the WFAA YouTube channel and WFAA Plus. Heckma Harrison, we are spoiled.
Yeah, we are.
We get this game tonight and then DeSoto and Duncanville a week from now. Back-to-back absolute bangers. Fair catch called for and made by Caden Finley on the short kickoff once again from Denton Ryan. And it will be 1st and 10 from the 36 for Hoss Haney and the Aledo Bearcats offense. But quite a catch and run from Jordan Bailey from Denton Ryan to get the Raiders right back in this football game down 7.
And I don't blame Coach Dave Hennigan allowing Jordan Bailey to get out in space and do what he does. I mean, you got to try everything. Got to get the ball into your dog's hands, and Jordan Bailey has been such an asset for this offense. You got to use him.
Hoss Haney going to keep it himself here off the fake to Hawk Patrick Daniels. Good tackle by Caden Kelly. Otherwise, he had a lot of room.
Yeah, not only that, man, he fooled everybody. I was watching Hawk Patrick Daniels and didn't realize that Hoss Haney had the ball in his hands, man. He's just instant offense, such an electric kid. He's a junior. He got another year of this.
Oh, yeah.
So everybody in 5A is like, hold on to your seatbelt, guys, because this dude is going to be a player for a long time in this Bearcats offense, and that's a good job up front. Marquee Hill. Hey, you can tell these guys have gotten a talking to. They've made some adjustments. It's going to bring up a big 3rd down for the Bearcats.
3rd down and 4. Ball sits at the 43-yard line. They've got to get to, they've got to get to the 36. It says 3rd and 4 on the far side sticks. The in-house folks saying the same thing that I'm seeing here. In reality, more like 3rd and 3. They've got to get to the 46-yard line for a 1st down. Haney in shotgun. He'll keep it himself again, running near side. What a tackle! Knifing forward, and it's Caden Kelly again. Only a gain of a yard, and it's 4th and 2.
Boy, Caden Kelly in a one-on-one situation with Hoss Haney, and he does the job. Taking the legs out of Hoss Haney, and man, that's a lonely place to be, out on an island with Hoss Haney. But he does the job and gets him down on the ground and forces a 4th down, and what do you know? Aledo has a punt team.
Nathan Wood, the punter for the Bearcats. And some confusion here on the punting unit as you see Devon Keys looking to the far side. Possibly a fake setting up here? No, they will indeed punt the football away. Good high punt right up the middle of the field. Fielded at the 16-yard line here by Jordan Bailey, trying to find something, run out of bounds after maybe a gain of 2. But Heckma Harrison, Denton Ryan with exactly the start to the second half that they would have wanted. Drive down the football field and score a touchdown and then get a 3 and out. Honestly, much like they did in the first half. And then Aledo responded feverishly. But now Denton Ryan with the football back and another opportunity to perhaps put some more points on the board.
And you knew, look, Coach Hennigan, he's going to make the adjustments at halftime. He recognized that these guys are just getting beat up in the middle. The running game is starting to take its toll. They're off balance, and he had to answer, and they do just that.
Caleb Hicks on the carry, right into the teeth of Devon Keys, a pickup of 3 on the first play of the offensive series. Naxalone says tuning in late from Hawaii tonight. We appreciate you tuning in, giving us the little shaka with the emoji.
Making us jealous.
That's 2 people tuning in from Hawaii tonight. I love that. Richard Glenn said that's some 4-3 stuff, talking about Jordan Bailey scooting up the sideline for that earlier touchdown. You're not kidding. He can absolutely fly. 2nd down and 6. Davis over the middle, found the hole in the zone. DeMarcus Lewis there to make the grab, and they're out to midfield.
And there he is again, that 6'4", 190-pound receiver. They found him in the first quarter and kind of forgot about him. When you fall behind, this running game is going the way that it is, but there's a possession receiver, a guy that can get out on that hash mark, big body, big catch radius. They've got to use all of their weapons.
Now he looks backside, finds Caleb Hicks right in the middle. Big part is Jordan Bailey again, and look at the speed again across the 35 down to the 32. And you can feel Heckma Harrison in the opening 6 minutes and change of this third quarter. A little bit of a change of momentum in this football game.
Oh, absolutely. And you expect it when you have the amount of playmakers that the Raiders have. You've got to bend Bailey. You see immediately, as soon as he gets the ball in his hands, Mike, once he turns around and starts going north, and a lot of people that can catch number 4.
1st and 10 at the 32, under 5 to play here, third quarter. It's been a fast-moving football game all night. The third quarter falling in line with that. Davis, deep ball, single coverage, incomplete, no flags. Chris Johnson there step for step in coverage on DeMarcus Lewis.
And that's a good job. And they know that on the other side, when you have Jaden Allen, you've got to try the guy on the other side with Chris Johnson. And look, Chris Johnson, he's going to be a guy that's going to be sought after because he definitely gets tested more than Jaden Allen. But he did a really good job right there, 6 foot, 160 pounds, holding his own.
Ricky Herron had to chase some Denton Ryan coaches back to the sideline and said, no, it wasn't a flag. They wanted a pass interference penalty on that. Instead, 2nd down and 10, handoff Caleb Hicks, dancing in the hole, will only get to the 30-yard stripe. A gain of 2, it'll be 3rd and 8.
And you see Devon Keys coming up from the linebacker position. They've got to get some bodies on Caleb Hicks, because you let this guy warm up, man, he can make it a difficult second half for you.
Over 1,500 of you with us right now on the WFAA YouTube channel. Please click the like button, click the subscribe button here on the WFAA YouTube channel. We'll bring you a game every week here on Friday Night Football. 3rd down and 8, Davis to the air. Quick throw near side, complete on the underneath for Jordan Bailey, but ripped down from behind by Gillespie and Cat Mooney, and it's going to be 4th down and about 5.
I love this Jake Gillespie kid. He is hard-hitting. And I'm telling you, he's like a Scud missile coming up from that strong safety position. He is not going to allow Jordan Bailey to outflank him and get up the field. That's an excellent job in getting that fast guy on the ground.
Major inflection point in the football game right here. 4th down and 5. Got to get to the 22 for a 1st down. Davis in shotgun. Blitz coming off the left side. They pick it up. Flags at the snap. Delay of game is going to be called against Denton Ryan.
Prior to the snap, false start, offense, number 70, 5-yard penalty, remains 4th down.
Beg your pardon, false start, not delay of game. I saw the far side headlines, but it looked like he said delay of game, but there were 4 seconds on the play clock. So yes, a false start, not a delay of game. Regardless, a 5-yard penalty makes 4th down now. 10 yards to go here for Denton Ryan.
And if I'm Denton Ryan right now, I'm looking at my 6'4", 190-pound wide receiver that's out here man-to-man. I get him a 50-50 ball and allow him to pick up this yards. I mean, you've got to continue to feed the guys that you have.
Bobbled snap, but Davis has got it. Looking downfield, trying to find a man. Fires it for Mussett. Jump ball incomplete. Knocked away by Jaden Allen, who's back on the field and playing again and makes a big play in a big spot.
Boy, Jaden Allen with his hands behind his back saying, I'm handcuffing him. I'm not letting him out of my sight. You can try me if you want to. This is a dangerous game you're playing.
Jaden Allen, the 4-star corner, on his way to UT. B.J. Allen's little brother, for those of you that are longtime Aledo fans, you remember B.J. Allen fondly as well. Jaden Allen, every bit the player his brother was, and a big play there on 4th down, and Aledo takes over on downs. Haney going to keep it himself right up the middle, breaks a tackle, gets to the outside, still on his feet across the 40, finally dragged down from behind and pushed out of bounds by Anthony Hill, but not before he picks up 11 and a 1st down for the Bearcats.
Hoss Haney is such a stud. I mean, look at this run. He has got guys draped all over him, dragging on him. He has the #1 linebacker in the country trying to bring him down, and he refuses to go down and picks up the 1st down, Mike.
1st and 10 at the 43. Denton Ryan had a chance there with the football in Aledo territory, couldn't finish the drive, and now Aledo trying to answer back. Hawk Patrick Daniels trying to get to the outside, tripped up from behind just barely. That's Earl West, the freshman defensive end for Denton Ryan, making the play.
This is a freshman defensive end. Look at the jets he has. He is, talk about Hawk, he is hawking him down from behind. That is a defensive end chasing down Patrick Daniels, who is quick and fast.
Just a gain of 2 on the play, 2nd down and 8. Just over 2 minutes to play here in the 3rd quarter. Patrick Daniels with the carry again, following the block of Carter Campbell for 2 more. 3rd down and 6 forthcoming.
And it's just, I tell you what, I have just been enjoying the blocking schemes for the Bearcats. You know, they have been like this for so long. They had a kid, Llewellyn, that's now at Oklahoma, big body tight end, that once he got his paws on you, you were not able to get away from this kid. And now they have the same thing going with their offensive linemen. This is just amazing. They do such a good job of coaching up these kids.
3rd and 6, Haney near side, knocked away, undercut by Trey Williams. 2nd time tonight he's gotten his hands on the football, and it's a 3rd down stop for the Ryan Raiders.
And you gotta credit Trey Williams in understanding the way that Hoss Haney is getting this ball out of his hands. Undercutting that ball is a little dangerous. Let me just say that. Because if you miss and he's able to adjust, there's no one behind you to give you any help. They don't have the 2 safety. They only have a 1 safety deep look. So that's dangerous. But Trey Williams, it pays off for him.
So Aledo to punt once again. End over end punt. Fielded at the 12-yard line. Coming near side is Chance Rucker. He's able to pick up maybe 5 on the return out to the 17. But Denton Ryan's defense for the 2nd time in this half able to come up with a stop. And now a player down away from the play. It looks like it's a Denton Ryan Raider. It is indeed. That is Braden Dozier, one of their reserve defensive backs. I beg your pardon, one of the starting corners. He's the starting corner opposite Chance Rucker. And he has got that left knee being looked at after the play by the Ryan Raiders athletic training staff. Give you another look at the return there from Rucker. working out that left knee here of Braden Dozier, the senior, 5'10", 180-pound player for this Ryan Raiders defense.
Yeah, good to see that he has movement in it.
Yeah.
That's number one.
Now they're getting him back on his feet. That left knee is what they were working on, and under his own power walking off. That's a very good sign for the senior Braden Dozier. We'll see whether or not he's able to return to the football game. Tyrese Weaver and Tyron Chappell, they're two reserve corners that we may see in his place over the course of the final 13 minutes and change of this football game. That's Aaron De La Torre, their defensive coordinator, meeting him there on the sideline with a couple of words for him. In the meantime, back to the action, 1st and 10 at the 17-yard line. Handoff, Caleb Hicks made a man miss briefly, but then that same man jumped right back on top of him. Christian Hillman with the tackle. He was dogged in his pursuit of Caleb Hicks.
Yes, he is, and I'm telling you what, number 21's been doing a really good job. I saw him just this couple of plays ago get outside on Jordan Bailey and make a tackle. He's doing it all, man, tracking well from his defensive end position, but that's a big-time tackle when you can get a tackle for a loss on Caleb Hicks.
2nd down and a dozen now for Denton Ryan. Final 30 seconds here in the third quarter. Caleb Hicks, nice cut up field. He's going to have enough for the 1st down on 2nd down and 12, a carry for 15.
And how about that? This offensive line getting sturdy and opening up these big gaping holes for Caleb Hicks. That's exactly what they need, and this Ryan Raiders team is trying to tie it up.
They don't have to snap it here before the end of the third quarter. Callan Davis looking to the sideline, and it looks like the coaching staff is going to go ahead and let these final few seconds of the third period wind to a close.
That is the end of the third quarter.
Denton Ryan with the only points in the third. We head to the fourth. 21-14, Aledo with the lead on Friday Night Football.
Hey, I'm Jason. And I'm the other Jason. We're the co-hosts of Yolitics, the unofficial political podcast of Texas. So each week we invite on change makers for cold beer and candid conversations into the issues really affecting Texans.
Yeah, and we're bringing in diverse viewpoints so you get to listen and really understand.
This is solid information and a deep dive you're not going to get anywhere else.
Not to brag,
but just to brag a little bit.
Okay, a little. We've been trending and making headlines.
Plus, we have more than 1 million downloads.
And still counting.
Back in Denton, C.H. Collins Athletic Complex, the site tonight for Friday Night Football. The Aledo Bearcats, number 4 in the state rankings in 5A Division I, leading the homestanding Ryan Raiders 21-14 as we open the fourth quarter, but Ryan with the football and Heckma hoping anyway to piece together a drive.
I think they found the formula, and the formula is just give the ball to number 2 Caleb Hicks and let your offensive linemen get a full head of steam on this Bearcats defensive line. We already know that the size advantage is going to go to the Ryan Raiders offensive linemen. These are some big kids up front. Hey, and they're getting an opportunity to tee off and show it here in the second half.
Braden Mussett in transition here, and look at the handoff up the middle for Jordan Bailey. Bailey in a foot race, chased down from behind, a flag at the end of the play, probably for a face mask here as Jaden Allen made the tackle, and the speed from Jordan Bailey on display again.
Look at this natural speed. This is a foot race between two of your corners, trying to get this stop, and man, you see both Chris Johnson and Jaden Allen go down as well.
That is Chris Johnson you see on your screen right now, grabbing at his left ankle. That's the starting corner opposite Jaden Allen. Allen we saw go down earlier in this football game, but returned from that injury. He is now back on his feet, standing at the 10-yard line on the far side. Seems to be okay, maybe a bit of a limp, still working out his left knee, it appears just a hair. But Chris Johnson, as you can see, still down and being tended to by the Aledo training staff.
No, he is in pain. I think they got their feet tangled up as Jordan Bailey.
Yeah, he kind of got rolled up on by Jordan Bailey as he came to the ground and went hopping away from the play, favoring that left ankle significantly. And that is what they are looking at right now. Clay Marshall, I wonder if we can get one more look at the replay, and you can see at the tail end of the play here as they had Mussett come in motion, and that kind of distracted the defense just enough to give a crease here for Jordan Bailey. But watch at the end as he gets rolled up on that left ankle of Chris Johnson. They are now carrying Chris Johnson off of the football field.
And that's a tough break, and Chris Johnson has been playing a solid game. We saw him get tested earlier by DeMarcus Lewis. Right now, look at the Bearcats defense being taken to task. These guys had a really good first half. Did a good job of shutting down the run, shutting down the pass after the first quarter once the Ryan Raiders scored. But like you said earlier, all of the momentum has shifted to the Ryan Raiders.
1st and 10, ball at the 13-yard line. Handoff, Caleb Hicks cutting the hole inside the 5, driving to the 2. Maybe the 3, very close to first down yardage. It may be 1st and goal.
Look at this offensive line, man. They are getting it done. Anthony Laurent, big number 76, man. I'm telling you, they are scooping these guys out in the middle and opening up these holes for Caleb Hicks.
1st and goal. Davis in shotgun. Handoff Hicks. No, he had his helmet taken off on the play. He's going to be taken down for a loss of 2 back at the 5-yard line.
Boy, that's a dangerous play. You see his helmet come off almost instantly.
Ripped right off by Devon Keys. Not that Keys did anything wrong there, just trying to make a play on the football, and it just popped right off. And because of that, that is part of the rules in Texas high school football, college football as well, pros as well for that matter. If your helmet comes off in the course of a play, you have to sit out for the succeeding play. So 2nd down and goal, they'll have Martaeus Hurd come on the football field for 2nd and goal. And I wonder, honestly, Heckma Harrison, with 3 timeouts to work with and 10:42 left in this football game, as Denton Ryan calls their first time out of the second half, is that Dave Hennigan saying, no, we're going to call a timeout because we need Caleb Hicks on the football field right now?
Mike, that is exactly what that is. You need your main guy out there putting in that work. I mean, he has been the leader of this comeback for the Ryan Raiders, and I really love the way that Coach Hennigan's squad has responded to the adversity in the first half. It literally looked to me like the Bearcats had just beat them into submission in the first half, even though they were only down by 14, just by the way that the lack of aggression and energy from the Raiders. It didn't look like they had an answer. And here they are now in the 4th quarter in the red zone, knocking on the door in position to tie this up. And you're right, call timeout, get Caleb Hicks back on the field.
The 3-star Oklahoma commit able to return because of the timeout. 2nd down and goal from the 5. Callan Davis rolling near side, fires, end zone, touchdown Jordan Bailey. His 2nd touchdown of the day, and Denton Ryan an extra point away from tying it up.
And my, do we have ourselves a ball game, and Jordan Bailey and Caleb Hicks will not go quietly into the Denton night. They're like, look, we are going to get back in this game, and we are pressuring you guys on this 109 district wins that you guys have had. I love the way that Coach Hennigan's squad has responded. All of his athletes have got out here in the second half, and again, on the replay, that is a great play design, and they have the Bearcats on their heels now.
21 apiece, 10:37 to play in the 4th on Friday Night Football. To the end zone for South Oak Cliff.
Our brand new color commentator, Heckma Harrison. Heckma, welcome to the team.
Man, I'm excited.
down, Randy Reed. Next week, a rivalry matchup of 6A powers as DeSoto hosts Duncanville. Friday at 7 on the WFAA YouTube channel and WFAA Plus. A comment from 182Q KFTW. We have a game. Yes, we do.
Oh, yeah.
21-21. Tim Buchanan's football team looking for a 110th district win in a row. They're going to need to find some points in order to do so. Shutout so far in the second half, and Denton Ryan has come back to tie it up at 21.
Boy, we had some games here back-to-back, Mike. You talk about being spoiled. I don't know. I mean, we're just picking some great games to go to. I mean, now, everything close going into the fourth quarter, and here we are knotted up with 10:37. This is going to be interesting, boy, no matter how you look at it. And even for Aledo, they're going to be going into the win on this drive.
Short kickoff fielded at the 29-yard line. Tyson Timms taken down after a return of about 6 out to the 35. Ryan has been kicking short like that all night long. But good field position here for the Aledo Bearcats. But Heckma Harrison, their offense has not been able to get much going in the second half.
No, they haven't. And one of the things that I've seen in the first half where they had a ton of success is when they went with the changeup back, which was number 34, Caleb Pope. To me, Caleb Pope just presented something completely different from a running back perspective. Not as quick as Hawk Patrick Daniels, but still patient and a guy that got downhill enough that, you know, he was changing that field position. Let's see if they go back to him.
It'll be 1st and 10 from right at the 35-yard stripe. Some confusion here between the officials and the Denton Ryan coaching staff, and Hoss Haney was getting involved in the conversation as well. I'm not sure exactly what they were trying to sort out. But they've got it sorted now. 1st and 10 at the 35. Caden Kelly showed blitz, backs off. Haney, quarterback draw. Right into the face. And it's Marquee Hill and Anthony Hill there for the tackle together.
And I tell you what, this defensive coordinator for the Ryan Raiders, Aaron Delatorre, has been doing a wonderful job going with, you know, the cover 2 back to cover 3. He's been calling this thing really good. In the second half, he's been getting Haney some different looks, and maybe not as not being as opportunistic as he was in the first half of throwing those out routes. See, you seen earlier, these guys are undercutting from Trey Williams. Did the same thing as they get this running game going and pick up a 1st down, and that was needed for the Bearcats.
Caleb Pope on the carry off right guard, head of steam, and he's got the 1st down right at the 45.
He's just a change of pace, Mike.
Yeah.
That's all it is. I mean, I think you may think of it like this, where your defense, you got a quicker, faster guy. You think the defense may not be, that's not the guy that they want to see, but if you can stay alignment, assignment sound, you can get to that guy. A guy that's slow and methodical and pounding it up in there, man, he's a nightmare to deal with because, look, man, you got to take that headache on play after play after play, and guys start tackling him sideways.
Anthony Hill doesn't tackle anybody sideways. He takes Pope down after a gain of 4 there.
Here's the thing about Anthony Hill. He's 6'4", 225 pounds. He is a load.
Over 1,700 of you with us right now on the WFAA YouTube channel. We do appreciate you so very much for being with us tonight for Aledo and Denton Ryan, tied in the 4th at C.H. Collins. Haney going to keep it himself, makes a man miss in the backfield, but then finds 2 more blue jerseys right in his face, and it's going to be 3rd down at about 3.
Oh, Hoss, man, that's one of those. You should have given that ball to number 34, Caleb Pope. Caleb Pope picks up that 1st down easy. He's dragging a guy with him. The one thing about this Denton Ryan defense is side to side, they love, they are pursuit. You look at how many guys end up pursuing the tackle, man. This 4 or 5 guys at a time that are getting there. They are gang tackling out here in Denton.
Third down and 3 in plus territory. Haney, straight drop. Looking in the middle, and he finds a man. It's Tyson Timms on the near sideline. And look at Timms dragging tacklers. He fumbled the football, but very quickly pouncing on top of it was Devon Keys. I think they may actually mark Timms out of bounds before he even fumbled this football, Heckma.
This out route is a route that Hoss Haney loves. And he can throw this route in his sleep. All right, it is automatic for him. He is comfortable with turning and throwing the ball towards the sideline. They've got to try and find a way to make him uncomfortable, or at least get underneath it and just try and make that a negative play for him.
Handoff Devon Keys, taken down by Hill after a gain of 2. He likes that route because he throws it so very well. I mean, he puts the ball on a rope. He's got great, just everything about how he plays the position is textbook.
No, it's magic. It really is. I mean, I hadn't seen many high schoolers where they throw that out route. It's like a long handoff. He may as well just be standing out there handing it to the guy. That's how good that pass looks coming off of his hands.
Second down and 8, off play action. Haney up the seam, has a man in the end zone, drops it in the bucket for Jalen Pope for the touchdown. Aledo back in front.
Hoss Haney says, watch this. You talk about an out route. I'm going to show you what I can do on this post. What a throw and catch from Jalen Pope. What an answer by the Bearcats.
Extra point, no good.
Ooh.
Wide to the left, off the foot of Cole Crawford, and that could be an important point right there. 27-21, Aledo with the lead, but it's Hoss Haney leading them down the football field and hitting Jalen Pope over the middle for the touchdown. They lead it by 6 midway through the 4th on Friday Night Football.
Hey, I'm Jason. And I'm the other Jason. We're the co-hosts of Yolitics, the unofficial political podcast of Texas. So each week we invite on change makers for cold beer and candid conversations into the issues really affecting Texans.
Yeah, and we're bringing in diverse viewpoints so you get to listen and really understand.
This is solid information and a deep dive you're not going to get anywhere else.
Not to brag,
But just to brag a little bit.
okay, a little. We've been trending and making headlines.
Plus, we have more than 1 million downloads.
And still counting.
Back in Denton, and Heckma Harrison, some wind tonight, perhaps affecting that PAT.
And I know it's just the PAT, but from the direction of the stadium, this is open air, okay? And it is a swirling wind down there, okay? Yeah. You say, look, it may just be a chip shot, all right? You're out on the golf course, you take your pitching wedge, and that may be an easy one for you. Not so much in this stadium.
Ball bobbled, loose still, and what a play by Braden Mussett to scramble back on top of it and save the day for Denton Ryan. The fair catch was called for by Chance Rucker. It bounced off his shoulder pads. It ricocheted away from Royale Brown, but Mussett there to save it.
Oh, and you see those Bearcat guys on the kickoff team just covering their faces because they know that was a missed opportunity.
That could have been enormous for Aledo. Would have been 1st and 10 at about the 20-yard line. Instead, Ryan keeps it, and they hand off Caleb Hicks right into the face of Andrew Parkhurst, and no gain.
And not only that, Devin Keys. Look at Keys from the linebacker position coming right up on Caleb Hicks. That's the way you get it done, and you got to stop this guy. Caleb Hicks has been instrumental in bringing the Ryan Raiders back, and if you don't get stops on this guy, he could really close out the night for the Ryan Raiders.
Devon Keys with 13 scholarship offers for a reason. He filled that hole in a heartbeat. 2nd down and 10. 6:35 and moving here in the 4th. Davis with pressure in his face has to throw it out of bounds away and over the head of DeMarcus Lewis.
And We've talked about Christian Hillman, number 21, man, from this defensive end position. He not only does he run well laterally, horizontally, he is just doing it all out here for the Bearcats. You love to see a guy like that is continuously, he just has that motor, and he does not stop. Obviously, he would have loved to have gotten a sack to get that negative yardage, but what he does do is he forces a 3rd and long.
Back-to-back plays of no gain for Denton Ryan. 3rd down and 10. Davis pressured again, trying to dance away, has to just spin and throw near side. It's going to be picked off. Inbounds. Yes, that ball was caught. Intercepted by Jayton Owens.
That is a mistake from Kalen Davis. You cannot make a play like that. And I know, Mike, he's just trying to get this ball out of bounds because he has so much pressure on him. But you've got to airmail that thing to the first row. You cannot just put it up in the air and put it in no man's land. These are the kinds of mistakes versus the Bearcats team that you cannot make. They make you pay for it.
The interception by Jayton Owens did a great job of knowing where he was on the football field and staying in bounds to make the interception. 1st and 10, Aledo at the 28-yard line. Up 6 and looking for more. Handoff, Caleb Pope stood up and dragged backward. Anthony Hill and Caden Kelly there to make the tackle.
And look at Anthony Hill, man. I don't know, Texas A&M, you've got, I don't know, when this kid hits this, when he gets to the campus, this is a instant guy in the SEC for you to watch, America. I've never seen anything like it. You watch him on tape, you hear all the accolades that they give him, but nothing measures to actually seeing this guy with your own eyeballs. He is a special athlete, man. This is something else, man. Denton Ryan is, man, what a talent.
Caleb Pope on the carry again, trying to rip the ball loose. They did! Loose on the deck, and it looks like Denton Ryan pounced on top of it. Anthony Hill got his hands in there to strip the ball out, and it's Denton Ryan football. Earl West, the freshman, with the recovery.
Love it when you're talking about a guy and he does something special. Watch this. Oh, that's actually number 8.
Yes, it was.
Marquee Hill.
Yep.
Getting his big paws on the ball and ripping it out and forcing a turnover. And we've got a flag down over here. Don't know if this is unsportsmanlike conduct from the Bearcats. They may have thought that play was over, that he was being held up, Caleb Pope, and I saw a little bit of that too.
Sideline warning, Aledo. There's the first warning of the game.
So because it is the first warning, no enforcement of a penalty. If they have another sideline warning, then it would come with a yardage penalization. But Denton Ryan's defense, Marquee Hill, getting his big paws in there and ripping the football away. That was something that Tim Buchanan told us earlier this week that Denton Ryan is very good at. He said, we have to be secure with the football. Hill got his hand in there and ripped it away. Earl West with the recovery and Denton Ryan with life. 1st and 10 at their own 23. Davis, quick throw, trick play. Mussett's gonna throw it. He goes deep for Caleb Hicks, single coverage, incomplete. Jaden Allen there with him step for step.
Well, that's a good job by Jaden Allen. Recognizing, but here's the hardest part about this, is not running into the receiver, okay?
Yeah.
That's special, because a lot of guys, when they think about it, oh, I'm beat, you go in panic mode, and the first thing you do is you go and run up the back of the wide receiver, and you get that 15-yard penalty, and then you give up the first down. That's great awareness right there by the junior cornerback and Texas commit.
2nd down and 10 after the trick play did not pop there for Denton Ryan. Mussett again in motion. Handoff, Jordan Bailey. This play worked very well for them earlier. This time not quite as big a gain, but a gain of 5. It'll set up 3rd and 5.
But just look at how fast he gets to the line of scrimmage. I mean, he is a different runner from Caleb Hicks. is Jordan Bailey. We've talked about the difference between the guys on the other side. From Hawk Patrick Daniels and Caleb Pope, they have a 1-2 combination as well to do the Denton Ryan Raiders.
3rd down and 5. They've got to get to the 33 for a first down. Motion man is Bailey. Handoff Hicks. Pressured in the backfield immediately and wrapped up. Aledo's defense stands tall, and it's Ansel Dinboo with the tackle.
Ansel Dinboo. Look at this play made by number 32. He gets penetration from the snap and reads it perfectly. He is just a grizzly bear of a young man.
Really, really tough senior, 6'2", 275 pounds, a 3-star recruit, and he made a play in a big spot to get the 3 and out from Denton Ryan, and despite the fumble that they forced, they're going to have to punt it away. Mussett gets a good foot on this one up the far sideline, takes a big Denton Ryan bounce all the way inside the 20, a huge bounce and roll all the way down to the 14, completely flipping field position.
That is exactly what he did, and that's, if you're Denton Ryan, you got to love on your punter right now, because, well, that is a good job. And no matter what Hoss Haney does, he is going to have to go nearly the length of the field to put more points on the board. They're not comfortable with this lead by no stretch. You know, you get a touchdown and an extra point, that's game.
I also wonder, can they just exhaust these 4 minutes and 5 seconds? That's probably line one here for Robbie Jones and his Aledo offense. 1st and 10 at their own 14. Haney going to keep it himself with 3 lead blockers out in front of him. Look at Hoss Haney with the speed across midfield. Haney in a foot race. Can they track him down? No, sir. 86 yards. Hoss Haney says, give me 110.
Hoss Haney, I'm a believer. Look at this. Mike, look at this. Look at the blocking up front. Oh, look at this. He walks the dog. Nobody is going to catch him. My God, what a game. You're talking about run. What do you mean run out the clock? Nobody's running out the clock.
Wow.
They are going for the kill shot.
They're going to go for 2 here as well to try and make it a 14-point lead.
Whoa, my God.
My goodness, Hoss Haney. Motion man is Pope. Haney rolling backside, wide open for 2 is Tyson Timms.
Man.
35-21. Aledo reestablishes an even 2-touchdown lead. And let's give you one more look at Hoss Haney putting this football game on ice. 86 yards up the far sideline. Lead blockers out in front of him for days. Caleb Pope out in front, laid a block on Anthony Hill, and then he just won the foot race. Ran away from Caden Kelly and Anthony Hill to give Aledo a 2-score lead with 3:52 in the 4th on Friday Night Football. To the end zone for South Oak Cliff.
Our brand new color commentator, Heckma Harrison. Heckma, welcome to the team.
Man, I'm excited.
Touchdown, Randy Reed.
Next week, a rivalry matchup of 6A powers as DeSoto hosts Duncanville. Friday at 7 on the WFAA YouTube channel and WFAA Plus.
Hoss Haney, 86 yards. Fair catch called for. Did they not call for the fair catch? If he didn't, that's a live football. No signal according to the officials, and it's Aledo football. Chance Rucker got blown up. Dave Hennigan is all the way out on the football field to check on his senior corner. I beg your pardon, that is the training staff that came out to check on him. he got annihilated as he tried to make the catch there on the kickoff. I thought he had signaled for fair catch. We've seen him do that a number of times in this football game. At least according to the officials, no such signal was made. Ball popped free as he got blown up right as the ball arrived. Aledo recovered, and whatever chance that Denton Ryan had to try and make a comeback over these final 3 minutes and 48 seconds just went out the window with that play right there.
No chance, Rucker. He's trying to make a play.
Yeah.
But the angle of that ball, how high it was kicked, it gave the kickoff team an opportunity to get down there immediately. When he catches it, it's a bang bang play. And unfortunately not able to handle that ball.
Patrick Daniels with the handoff here up the middle. Give him 2 on the carry. Wow. Glenn Stretch Smith, our Cowboys analyst on Sunday nights, said to me 2 or 3 years ago, just remember the name Hoss Haney.
Yeah.
I think at that point he may have been in 8th grade.
Yeah.
But Stretch lives out in Parker County, had been around this Aledo program. He coaches with the All Saints program there in Fort Worth. He knew Hoss, knew his family. Hoss's mother played basketball at TCU, Jim Ann Baker. Both his mother and father. Father played defensive tackle at TCU. His mother, Jim Ann Baker's a Hall of Famer at TCU, a women's athletics Hall of Famer at TCU. As Devon Key's carry goes nowhere there on 2nd down and long. It's going to be 3rd down and even longer. But he said, just remember the name Hoss Haney. You're going to know his name in a few years, and my word, do we know his name now.
3:05 on the game clock, please. Thank you.
Look, he had me at, he's a double H, and us double H guys are very special. It just comes with the initials, Mike. Okay, don't you doubt that. It's just pretty special. You get another H in there, it's triple H. It's up from here. But look at this play. It's just the design, and it is a foot race. He is neck and neck with Anthony Hill, and I don't know what Anthony Hill will time in the 40 or where he is, but I know one thing. If it's him and Hoss in a race, I'm taking number 8, because that is moving on your puppies right there, boy. He puts those things up and down real fast.
Tim Buchanan told us earlier this week that Hoss Haney's a 10-5 guy in the 100-meter.
When he said it, Mike, honestly, I heard him, okay? But
there's a shred of doubt.
Yeah. I mean, come on, guys. Coaches will say stuff like that. He's 6'2" and he's really 5'11". He's a 10-5 guy. I'm like, oh, okay, coach. All right, I get it. No, he a 10-5. Legit. He 10-5 for real. That's moving, man. Goodness.
3rd down and 13 here. Haney's going to keep it himself. Lead blocker, same play, and he's going to try and run away from everybody again. Ooh. This time, Anthony Hill got a hold of him by the shoulder pads and made sure he didn't run away. I beg your pardon, it's Marquise Hill. Marquise Hill this time with the tackle from behind.
Yeah, look at that. He's up. You come here. one hand. That's all it took. One-hand tackle.
Not before Haney, though, picked up the 1st down on 3rd down and 13.
Yeah, that's a design run. And if you're in 5A and you have this Bearcats squad coming to your town, or you're coming to see them, that design run play right there, it is going to be hard for you to stop. You better start practicing for it now.
Handoff here up the middle for Devon Key, spinning his way through the 2nd level. Fights his way to the 11. A pickup of 7 on the play. Player down behind the action from Aledo.
Yeah, I believe that's one of their linemen. I think that's number 66.
That would be Isaac Knott, their right tackle.
Don't want to be wrong on that, but I do believe that was the number that I saw. Checking that right leg around the shin area.
Yeah.
And an ankle.
Tim Buchanan out to check on him as well. Give you a look once again at the all-time district win streaks in the state of Texas. 109 in a row for the Aledo Bearcats. dating all the way back to October 5th of 2007 against Everman. And it was funny, we were talking with Tim Buchanan earlier this week, Heckma, and he talked about how, you know, really should be one game longer because we should have won that game against Everman. He says, Cole Lofton caught that ball against Everman in 2007, and I'm sitting there going, man, it was 15 years ago.
He doesn't care. He doesn't care. And he talks about it like it happened yesterday. And he even says there was a phone call that was made that said, yeah, you caught that. So in everyone's mind, that was a completion, and this should span back a lot longer. So, and that's 67. I do apologize.
Yeah, Max Moeller, the center, and he's being helped off the football field, not putting any weight on that right leg. They were working, you mentioned it, Heckma, kind of on his like lower shin into the ankle area. The senior center. We certainly hope that whatever it is won't be too serious and he'll be able to continue along as Aledo finishes off their season. Out of the injury timeout, 2:13 and moving now under 2:08 to play as they wind the clock. 2nd down and 3 here for Haney. Handoff to Von Keys, running left guard, running right up the back of his left guard and very close to first down yardage. He will indeed move the chains.
And they've done that all night. You know, earlier, Mike, you were saying, you know, this is a drive that when they got that punt all the way down here, I believe it's at the 15-yard line, they're like, hey, man, this is 4 minutes left. Maybe these guys just, you know, chip away at it and knock some time off the clock. And boy, they came with the design run for Hoss Haney, and he walks the dog. The turnovers, the defense, everything, man. These guys have found a way. Talking about those championship rounds, they have taken Denton Ryan to task in these later minutes in the 4th, and they have just kept coming at him.
1st and goal carry here for Keys, gains 2 down to the 6-yard line. As the clock winds down on what has been a fast-moving football game tonight, still not yet 9:30.
Unbelievable.
And Aledo's about to put the finishing touches on a 7th consecutive win to move to 7-0 in District 3-5A Division I, and for all intents and purposes, wrap up a district championship here in 2022. They do have one game remaining 2 weeks from tonight against Fort Worth Brewer. That will be their final game of the 2022 regular season before they go into the playoffs as the #1 seed out of this district. 2nd down and goal. Haney going to keep it himself once again, following blockers, strung out this time and taken down at the 5. Dillon, Arkansas, the sophomore, made a nice play.
Yeah, these linebackers, all of these guys, I mean, I said it earlier, Aaron Delatorre is called a masterful game. He's gotten his guys out in space and tried to get stops. It's just that when you have an athlete on the field like Hoss Haney, he's just, man, he's too much to deal with. And you've seen it this entire game. Can't stop him.
He was too much to deal with tonight for the Denton Ryan Raiders. 2 touchdown runs and a touchdown pass to untie a 21-all football game and lead the Aledo Bearcats to their 110th consecutive district win. An all-time Texas and national record gets one game longer tonight here in Denton.
What a special game this has been, Mike. We've called a lot of them, man, this year, and I tell you what, Aledo really has impressed me. The job that they did tonight, defensively and offensively, this was just a special night. Both of these teams came in wanting to set the tone and really just cap off this matchup by saying who was going to be crowned in this district. I think Aledo came out and they exacted their dominance late in the 2nd. Denton Ryan, give them credit. 1st quarter, they come out and they draw first blood. But Aledo just kept coming. That 3rd quarter, Denton Ryan comes out, make adjustments.
Yeah.
They tie it up. All right. The Bearcats seemingly in the 4th, man, they just got their scruples about them, and they got behind the playmaker that got them here. And Hoss Haney, man, I don't know, I can't remember who you said to remember this kid, but he should be a national scout. Okay, because
it's Glenn Stretch Smith who was a scout for the Cowboys.
Okay,
so
well he knows how to pick them.
Yeah, he knows a little bit of football.
He knows how to pick them.
Yeah.
And Hoss Haney, you get all of your athletic ability from your mother. Okay, I'll go ahead and settle that argument right now in the Haney household. This kid is a special athlete, a wonderful kid to watch, and everything about this Bearcats squad to me, it just screams that they are going to make a run in 5A.
I'll make a request here to our director, Clay Marshall. See if we can pull back up the 86-yard Hoss Haney touchdown run one more time here before we do say goodbye here on the WFA Digital Network. Oh, he's got it queued up right away. Watch this again, because not only is he in a foot race with Anthony Hill, Caden Kelly's out in front of him.
He has an angle. Had
an angle on him, and Hoss Haney just straight up ran away from everybody in what was a 27-21 football game with about 4 minutes left in this game. If you're Denton Ryan, you're thinking, especially off of a great punt from Braden Mussett that bounced all the way deep into Aledo territory, hey, let's go get a stop. We got a couple timeouts. Let's go get a stop. Let's make a play. Let's get the football back. Let's go down and win the football game. And then Hoss Haney does that.
And Hoss Haney happens. And that's pretty much what a lot of people are going to have to deal with, the speed of Hoss Haney. But I tell you, it's really these offensive coordinators, Robbie Jones and Joe Ryan Williams, both of these guys called a great game today. They did a really good job of keeping Denton Ryan on their heels. With the combination of the run and pass, we came to the first half stats, and I believe it was something like 103, 113 from pass to run, and I mean 103 to 120. And just their ability to stay balanced. And I'm sure in the second half it was more favored towards the run than it was towards the pass, just based off of that Hoss Haney run alone, right? But they just did such a wonderful job. And when you have play calling like that, and you have defensive and offensive coordinators that, you know, that can call games, that put their athletes in prime position to make plays, that is just excellent football. It's a treat to watch for fans, and man, just a treat to call.
No
what
doubt.
A game.
You mentioned Brad McCone calling such a good game, and I believe his wife, Michelle, I saw her in the comments earlier saying she was a little under the weather tonight, so she was tuning in and commenting in the YouTube feed every once in a while. So she'll appreciate very much that you're shouting out her husband tonight for the work that he did. I mean, this really was a complete football game from the Aledo Bearcats. Offensively and defensively, really did a very nice job. I mean, they got kind of punched in the mouth right out of the gates in this football game. Went 3 and out offensively. Denton Ryan goes right down the football field, 7-0 on Ryan's home field, and it's hard not to immediately think, maybe Aledo's in a little bit of trouble here. Very quickly, they showed they were not and took control of this football game. 21 straight points, led 21-7 at halftime. The ground game was moving for them. As you see Tim Buchanan hollering at his team right now. You think they don't appreciate this moment right now? I mean, there had to have been, who am I kidding? I know that there were a lot of people across the state that saw, Aledo's going to 5A D1 this year. That's going to be a little harder. They're in Denton Ryan's district this year. That's going to be a lot harder. And then Burleson Centennial starts off fantastic this year. Beats Denton Ryan 2 weeks ago, and everybody goes, Aledo's going to have back-to-back weeks of a little bit of a challenge here. Oh, my, what's going to happen to the district win streak? Nothing.
Boy, were they wrong.
64-21 a week ago against Burleson Centennial, and then they come in here. This was much more of a dogfight, let's be fair. This was 21-21 in the fourth quarter. This was a war, and a play here, play there could have gone a different way. This was a battle tonight between Aledo and Denton Ryan, but ultimately, again, for the 110th time in a row, Aledo wins a district game. And we talked with Dave Hennigan earlier this week about this district win streak, and he said, listen, I mean, he was very complimentary about how impressive it is, but he said, listen, I don't need a number on a district win streak to know how good Aledo is and what their program means, but he said, more impressive to me than the district win streak is all of the state championships that they have just piled up over 9 state championships in the last 13 years. It's unbelievable what this program has done, and they are, for that reason, the standard in Texas high school football. The only program with 10 all-time. Nobody's done it better than this program.
All you have to do is say Aledo, and it doesn't matter where you go. If you know anything about football, and especially Texas high school football, Aledo is the class of Texas high school football. And I don't know who could have thought that moving from one division up would have changed what Aledo does. But, you know, this was special. And I tell you, when we get on the phone with these coaches, and especially the ones that I admire, you know, I want to pick their brains on, you know, how they do what they do, their process of making these young men into the players that they are. Coach Buchanan was a treat to talk to.
Yeah.
I mean, we could have gone on for 2 hours. We talked for about an hour and 20 minutes.
It was a little under an hour. Usually those calls are 25 to 30 minutes.
Okay.
It was a full 52 minutes, and you and I both, hey, Coach Buck, go ahead. Tell us everything about your football team.
I mean,
he was great.
When you're on the phone with a legend, you just shut up and let him talk.
Amen.
And he just went through just the Bible of Texas high school football. And we were just sitting at his feet, taking it all in, and he is just explaining to us over the years all of the great teams that he has, all of the great coaches that he has. Look, y'all, Jonathan Gray, one of the all-time leaders of running backs at Aledo, he's the running backs coach at Aledo. And so, I mean,
pretty good.
What? that says everything that you need to know about it. And so, man, I tell you what, Mike Leslie, I don't know where we go from here, man. Where we're going next, man? I don't know.
Well, where we go from here is to Duncanville next week.
Oh, my God.
DeSoto and Duncanville next week here on Friday Night Football. A fantastic football game ahead for us. The DeSoto Eagles 11th in the state as of this week's rankings. After we saw Allen lose last night against Denton Geyer, DeSoto's going to jump into the top 10. So this is going to be a top 10 matchup in 6A at Duncanville next Friday night here on Friday Night Football. Before we do say goodbye, give you a look at the stats here for these two football teams. We'll try and run through it real quick. Aledo with a 21-14 edge in first downs, 427 to 315 in total yards. They ran for 278 yards on the day, a $149 through the air. Denton Ryan 166 passing, 149 rushing. Not a lot of penalties in this football game. Only 2 against Aledo, only 5 against Denton Ryan for 22 and 30 yards respectively. Both teams turned the ball over 2 times on the evening. 1 fumble, 1 interception for each of these two teams. Hoss Haney, 9 of 12 for 149 yards, a touchdown, and that late first half interception. 13 carries for a $132 and 2 more touchdowns on the ground. Caleb Pope, 15 carries, 85 yards, and a touchdown. Hawk Patrick Daniels, 11 carries for 40 yards. Devon Keys, 8 for 21 and a touchdown. And receiving for Aledo, Jalen Pope, 5 for 87 and a touch. Tyson Timms, 2 for 31. Caleb Pope, 1 for 26. Caden Finley, the freshman that, just remember that name. He's still a freshman. He's still got some growing to do, but that's Jermichael Finley's son. He's going to be pretty darn good in not too much time. Meanwhile, for Denton Ryan, Callan Davis in his return from injury did play well. 14 of 23, 166 yards and 3 touchdowns. Ran the ball in a couple of spots that looked pretty good. Caleb Hicks in his return from injury, 17 carries for 90 yards. Jordan Bailey, 2 carries for 49 on the night. Denton Ryan receiving-wise, Jordan Bailey, 7 for 83 in the 2 touchdowns. That was a big part of how they got back in this football game. He had the 2 third-quarter touchdown, the 1 third quarter, 1 early fourth quarter touchdown receptions that tied this game up at 21 early on there in the fourth as Denton Ryan made a fantastic comeback in this football game. DeMarcus Lewis, 4 for 65 and a touchdown. Braden Mussett, 1 for 10. Caleb Hicks, 2 for 8 on the receiving side for Denton Ryan. But Heckma Harrison, a fantastic performance tonight. Really, in a lot of ways, from both of these two football teams. They put on a show tonight. It's always a good thing when you can say it was tied in the fourth quarter, and that's what we saw midway through this final period, tied up at 21. But ultimately, Aledo is inevitable.
Yeah.
And they did it again.
No, it's a special night of football, Mike. I don't, I'm telling you, it gets to a point where you're watching this and you know that you're watching something special, watching special athletes perform at this high level. Man, this is such great anticipation. If you're from outside of the state of Texas, or if you're here in the Metroplex, you realize the buildup for this. But if you're outside of the state, let me tell you, everyone was talking about this matchup because they're two very special programs meeting up here on a big stage. And here's the other part about this. They have an opportunity to see each other again.
Oh, yeah.
So this may not be the end of it. So for Denton Ryan, they've got to lick their wounds. They've got to stay committed to getting into the playoffs, which they most certainly will. But these guys are in a position right now. Everything that they want is still in front of them for the Denton Ryan Raiders. But right now, tonight belongs to the Aledo Bearcats.
Looking ahead now for each of these two programs, you mentioned the playoffs. Aledo, after what they've done these last 2 weeks against really good football teams in Burleson Centennial and Denton Ryan, both games, by the way, on the road. It's hard not to now start to consider, is Aledo a state championship contender in 5AD1 in their first year back in 5AD1? It's hard not to see how they don't have to be now in that conversation. I think preseason there were at least some small question marks. All right, how's this going to go? Let's see how. Now that they've done what they've done these last 2 weeks, I think they've got to be in that conversation.
Well, it's fair. Let's just be fair, because their first game of the season, they lost to Parish Episcopal, a private school, okay? And
the best private school in the state by a country mile.
And I'm not trying to downplay Parish Episcopal, but I'm thinking that in years past, you think that that's a game that they get boat raced by Aledo, okay? They go in, they get shocked, and then they come out and they lose their next game, okay? And so for all intensive purposes, you thought then that maybe Aledo isn't the Aledo of old. They've turned it on. There's something that's changed, and when you have the kind of coaches that they do, and you have the lineage that they do, this is the kind of results that you get. And so, I mean, you're not wrong that, if you're underestimating this team, then, shame on you. But for a lot of people, when you look at the season, man, I think that's the reason why those two early losses. But, you got to credit these guys with these six victories in a row, 7 in a row.
Yeah.
And going into the playoffs, I don't know of anyone, if you turn on this particular tape, that would want to play these guys.
The biggest reason for their turnaround, that man on your screen right there has grown into the position in spades. Hoss Haney with another fantastic night tonight. $149 and a touchdown through the air, $132 and 2 touchdowns on the ground. And Aledo, despite being evened up in the fourth by Denton Ryan, pulls away and wins it again. 35-21 the final, 110 in a row in district for the Aledo Bearcats. Next week on Friday Night Football, man, are we spoiled.
Sure.
Back-to-back weeks with one of the biggest games statewide, and I'll tell you what, Duncanville DeSoto next week, the best game statewide. 7 o'clock next Friday night, right here on Friday Night Football. For our entire Friday Night Football crew, Director Clay Marshall, photographers Graham Rayner and Guy Opper, digital coordinators Nick Blackhall and Paul Wedding, graphics coordinators Nick Blackhall and Emil Moralda, and the one and only Heckma Harrison alongside. I'm Mike Leslie. So long from Denton. The final score one last time, 35-21. The Aledo Bearcats with a 7th straight win and 110 in a row in district. All our Friday Night Football broadcasts stream live and are archived in perpetuity on the WFAA YouTube channel and on the WFAA Plus app. This has been a proud presentation of WFAA TV.